Following is a presentation of the Ad Astra Sports Network. Coming up, coverage of McPherson Bullpup football on 98.9 and 1540 KMCP. Bullpup football is streaming online at adastraradio.com and on the Ad Astra Radio app. Coming up on the Midway Motors Drive to the Game, we'll break down tonight's matchup and preview other key games on the Ad Astra Sports Network. Tonight's kickoff is just 30 minutes away.
At Midway Motors, we are here for you for every mile of life. Whether you're shopping for a new or used vehicle or selling one, Midway Motors will buy your vehicle even if you're not in the market to buy one of ours. Just stop by one of our 5 locations and one of our appraisers will evaluate your vehicle and you can leave with a check the same day. It's fast and easy. Visit MidwayMotors.com for more information. Midway Motors, for every mile of life.
Bullpup football on KMCP.
It's hard to believe, but the 2025 high school football season is already at its final week of the regular season here in the state of Kansas. And today is one of the biggest weeks of them all around the state, and that includes right here in McPherson. Good evening and welcome into coverage of McPherson High School football on 98.9, 1540 KMCP, AdAstraRadio.com, and the free Ad Astra Radio app. Today, the 4-3 McPherson Bullpups, currently on a 2-game losing streak, look to turn things around to close off the regular season. And they'll look to do so against their bitter rivals, the Buhler Crusaders. Alongside Nathan Roble, studio engineer Kelly Bruce, and live stream coordinator Jeremy Snap, I'm Lane Gillespie. It's been a bit of a rough last couple of weeks for McPherson, a blowout loss on the road against Mulvane, 34-3. Then looking to turn it around after that, they suffered a big loss against Augusta for homecoming last Friday night, 50-29. But it's a new dawn, it's a new day. The sun still rises in McPherson, maybe not today, but because it's a very gloomy and cool night, but it's still another week of football and a chance for McPherson to right the ship before the regular season comes to an end, as a lot of postseason implications, Nathan, are on the line.
And you know, Lane, I would honestly tell you right now, there is no better time, there's no better opponent than for the Bullpups than the Buhler Crusaders. It's rivalry week. It's one of those weeks where if you can't get up for it just because it's who it is, you probably should be playing the game to begin with. So they're going to get up, they're going to get physical, and they're going to have to get physical if they want to have success here tonight against Buhler.
Buhler enters 5-2 on the season. They've already clinched at least a share of Division III of the Arc Valley Chisholm Trail League as they're 4-0 in league play. But can McPherson spoil it and make it 4-1? Well, we'll continue the Midway Motors Drive to the Game coming up after this, as we'll give you the long history between McPherson and Buhler. That's coming up next. You're listening to coverage of McPherson High School football from the Midway Motors broadcast booth on KMCP DP.
More of the Midway Motors Drive to the Game coming up. Find exclusive Bullpup content online at adastraradio.com, including schedules, stories, and game day audio. McPherson Bullpup football on 98.9 and 1540 KMCP.
At Nextech Wireless, get the iPhone 17 on us. iPhone 17 comes in 4 gorgeous colors with a brighter 6.3-inch display and a ceramic 2 shield front that's 3 times more scratch resistant. Capture super high-resolution shots by default with the advanced 48MP dual fusion camera system and have flexible ways to frame your shot with dual capture video for simultaneous front and rear recording. Nextech Wireless, connecting Kansas.
Krupp Lumber in Heston has been serving as the Marvin window and door dealer for many years. I'm Jared, and there's a reason why I only put Marvin windows in my parents' home. Marvin windows have thick, extruded, Krynar painted aluminum that will stand up to any hailstorm. At Krupp Lumber in Heston, you will find more Marvin windows and doors on display with French sliding bifold and patio doors. You will be amazed. I invite you to come see for yourself. Krupp Lumber, service is our specialty.
Hey Bulldog fans, this is Corey Cahill, head coach for your 6th-ranked McPherson College volleyball team. Kansas Wesleyan comes to town for a KCAC battle on Wednesday, October 29th at 7 o'clock at Holman Fieldhouse, brought to you by Midway Motors. Come on down and support our team to victory. Purchase your tickets online at macbulldogs.com It's a great day to be a Bulldog.
LS Tractor is your performance pack tractor for all seasons, now offering 0% for 120 months on select models, including our 57 horsepower hydrostat. Our universal skid steer quick attach makes switching a breeze. Our tough heavy lifting loaders give you more strength. Add a third function easily and get your grapple on. Get a wide range of capabilities, attachments, and implements. Visit Moundridge Tractor and get more features for less money, where customer service has been our business since 1985. Start blue, stay blue with LS Tractor.
Bullpup football on KMCP.
Welcome back to pregame coverage of McPherson High School football on 98.9, 1540 KMCP. We continue the Midway Motors drive to the game by giving you the history between the McPherson Bullpups and the Buhler Crusaders. And with that, we join alongside our Bullpup historian, Mark Heidebrecht. So, Mark, last year Buhler got the better of McPherson. So how did that change things in the series history?
All right, the series history is 15-11 in favor of the Bullpups. And like you alluded to earlier, we lost 21-28 in Buhler last year on October 25th. The series started way back in 1921, but it didn't resume until 60 years later in 1981, so big pause there. The 26 games in this series ranked 17th out of the 55 football opponents the Bullpups have played since 1920, so they're up there in the more frequent opponent category. Our home record against Buhler is 7-4. Away record is 7-7, and on a neutral field we're 1-0. That was down in Wichita a couple years ago. Offensive averages: McPherson, this is really close, averages 23.3 points per game. Buhler averages 23.7 points per game. Average winning margin: McPherson wins by an average of 16.4 points per game. Buhler wins by 23.3 points per game. We don't have an active winning streak, but McPherson has won 9 out of the last 11 games versus Buhler. So, highest scores in the series: McPherson scored 49 points on October 21st, 2022 at Buhler for a 49-6 win. Buhler's highest score in the series is 55 points. They did that twice. First time was October 23rd, 1992 in McPherson for a 55-6 win, and then they scored 55 points again on October 25th, 1991 at Buhler for a 55-7 win. Highest winning margins in the series: McPherson won by 43 points on October 21st, 2022 in Buhler by a score of 49-6. Buhler won by 49 points on October 23rd, 1992 in McPherson by a score of 55-6. Coach Pav's record versus Buhler is 9-4. I've mentioned this before in previous years, but it bears mentioning again.
For sure.
One of the most exciting, notable games in the history of the series, now called the infamous Jade game of 2017. Well, you can go on YouTube and see the final points going for 2 in overtime. But I just remember we got the coin toss, let Buhler go first. They scored, and it was our turn. We scored. I thought, surely we're going to kick the PAT.
Right.
This is a playoff game, for crying out loud. No, we're going for it. And I'm just like, what? Well, little did I know that Coach Pav had this trick play they've been practicing all the fall. It worked to perfection. A lot of deception, and so I think the quarterback handed it off or passed it and then drifted into the end zone. Nobody picked him up and just tossed it over to him for, a simple catch. Thank God he didn't clutch up, but he caught it easily. And that was the 2-point conversion for a 1-point win. And it was very tough for the Buhler players.
I bet.
They were laying on the ground, pounding the turf. And of course, the McPherson sideline was quite a contrast. But, yeah, it was really something. It was really something.
Oh, yeah.
If you're there, you'll never forget it.
And I mean, one thing that you like about rivalries, there's always that one game or that one play that just kind of defines the whole rivalry or just sticks out amongst anything. So, and that, the same thing is true in this case. So,
it
always love to see it. Rivalry week. Always love to see it. So, Mark, thank you so much for taking the time. Playoffs next week. We'll see who McPherson plays, and then we'll give you the history for whoever they may play. Mark, we will see you then.
I'll look forward to it.
That's Mark Heidebrecht, our Bullpup historian. We'll preview more coming up next as we head back to McPherson Stadium to continue the Midway Motors drive to the game. You're listening to coverage of McPherson High School football on 98.9 and 1540 KMCP.
Here's a bright idea. Don't buy the cheapest TP. It's not worth it. You know what is worth it? IdeaTek high-speed fiber internet. IdeaTek delivers seamless high-speed connectivity, and it won't disintegrate at just the worst possible moment. Don't go single-ply when it comes to your connectivity. Go fast and reliable. Reliability and quality, another bright idea from IdeaTek. Get high-speed IdeaTek fiber internet at ideatech.com.
At Bluestem Communities, they believe in living well at every stage of life. With trusted locations in McPherson, Heston, North Newton, and Hutchinson, they're proud to offer vibrant senior living options from independent living to assisted care and skilled nursing. Each community is grounded in compassion, connection, and a commitment to nonprofit mission. Come and see what living well can be at Bluestem Communities. Live well with Bluestem Communities in McPherson, Heston, North Newton, and Hutchinson.
When today is unpredictable, staying focused on your long-term financial goal matters more than ever. Count on your Ameriprise financial advisor for personalized, goal-based advice to help you navigate now and stay on track for tomorrow. Call Prairie Hills Financial Group, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services, LLC today at 620-504-5062. Offices located in McPherson, Hutchinson, Wichita, and Dodge City, Kansas.
At Health Equip, we are committed to bringing comfort to you and your home. That's why we specialize in health and mobility products designed to keep you feeling your best and living with ease. From CPAPs and BiPAPs to oxygen services and respiratory supplies, our full line of equipment is backed by friendly, knowledgeable staff ready to help find the right fit. Right now, enjoy 20% off our power mobility products and lift chairs. Find us at healthequip.com or visit us in Hutchinson, Newton, and McPherson. Health Equip, comfort, care, and a better way to live.
Bullpup football on KMCP.
Welcome back to Paul Family Field at McPherson Stadium for the final game of the regular season for Bullpup football as they take on the Buhler Crusaders, looking to turn things around and finish the regular season with a win and also above 500. Last year they finished the regular season 4-4. They just got the number 8 seed in the playoffs, hosting the first round, defeating Abilene and then losing to number 1 Wamego the week after. This year and this week they sit at the number 9 spot in the playoffs, but just narrowly above them is Andover Central, who faces Andover tonight, who's an amazing 5A team. We'll have the scores for that as we continue along because they started at 6 o'clock earlier today, and it's already 7-0 Andover through one quarter of play. There are scenarios where McPherson can lose and still host. That just more depends on the scoring outcomes for both of those games, but the biggest check mark to really help them out to host the first round of the postseason is get a win. And they're coming off a 2-game win streak, looking to turn that around this time. Well, there's a lot of guys to watch out for as we send it over to Nathan on both sides of the ball. Who should we look for?
Yeah, right away. I think you need to look at Buhler. The quarterback, Asher Zachary, he's 42 of 86 on the year, 10 touchdowns thrown. The second guy you need to look at is Ben Klaus. I mean, this offense is going to start with Ben Klaus. They're a power-running football team. That is who this offense is going to run through. Now for the Bullpups, I think this is going to come down to this offensive line. I think they'll get 5 guys up front going against this smaller but very aggressive, very good defensive front of the Buhler Crusaders. They're going to be what starts this entire offense.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, those are the guys to watch out for. We'll continue more coming up next. The Midway Motors Drive to the Game. We'll talk with head coach Jace Pavlovich right after this. You're listening to coverage of Bullpup football from the Midway Motors broadcast booth on KMCP.
The Midway Motors Drive to the Game continues after this. Midway Motors in McPherson, Newton, Hutchinson, and Hillsboro for every mile of life. Stay tuned as we sit down for a pregame chat with head coach Jace Pavlovich.
At Pleasant View Home, you are in control. Our memory care unit offers completely resident-directed care in a safe, secure, home-like environment with 24/7 staffing, private rooms and baths, and a secure outdoor courtyard. Every detail is designed for comfort and dignity. A dedicated activity director ensures every day is full of life, engagement, and purpose. Our staff are specially trained in Alzheimer's and dementia care because every person matters at Pleasant View Home.
Protect your home with WaveTech Roofing and Guttering in McPherson. Eco-friendly synthetic roofing to lifetime gutter systems, we deliver durability you can count on. Call today for your free estimate or visit wavetechroofing.com.
Elevate every space with the Good Merchant in Lindsborg. From unique home decor to thoughtful gifts and beautiful accessories, You'll find the good stuff for every occasion. Shop your style at The Good Merchant, downtown Lindsborg.
Welcome back into pregame coverage of McPherson High School football on 98.9, 1540 KMCP. We continue the Midway Motors drive to the game by now having our pregame conversation with the head coach of the Bullpups, Jace Pavlovich. Last week when we spoke for a pregame interview, that was after the Mulvane loss, and you said you and your guys, had a few conversations when you went over film and then the early week of practice. After that loss to Augusta last week, what was sort of those conversations like as you started the new week and tried to move on to the Buhler game for this week?
Well, it was, defensively, we talked after the game Friday where, we gave up 2 big plays right away. And then, it's one of those things where guys started to try and do other people's jobs. And that was apparent on the film that, we had some undisciplined play in terms of, assignments and key reads. And when you're questioning your own job and the job of others, that's exactly what happens. It snowballs pretty quickly. So this week we've kind of taken a different approach in practice and we've kept them longer. We've always filmed practice and sent it out after practice for kids to watch with comments on the film. But we've kept them and we've all watched it together as a unit and just showed them the importance of, good team defense and team discipline. And I think it's really paid off. We got a tough opponent tonight in Buhler. They're one of the best teams in 4A. They've got size, they've got speed, they're well coached, they're all those things. But I do feel like, that the fact that we're getting a rivalry game this week has really refreshed our kids, and it has been a good week. The kids have responded incredibly well, and they've had energy, and defensively this week it's been one of the best practices, one of the best weeks we've had so far this year in terms of assignments. So I really like where we're at. I think our kids have bounced back the right way. When we met on Saturday morning as a team, we kind of addressed the situation and that, when tough times hit, there's only really one way to respond, and there's only one way to get back on track. And that's to treat people right. That includes, your teammates, et cetera, doing your job and to work your butt off. And our kids have responded, have bought into that and understand what it's going to take to get a win tonight.
Yeah, and you mentioned helping refresh the minds of your players is the Buhler-McPherson rivalry, and there have been, time and again, even last year, when it comes to a rivalry, especially Buhler-McPherson, you can throw records out the window. So just, how has that really helped out with the mentality of the coaching staff and the players this week? Well,
it's been great. It's like I said, outside of the fact that they're a top-notch opponent for us, we can play some good football too, and we've proven that this year. So, the fact that it is this rivalry game has really boosted the kids' morale just that alone. So we're definitely going to come out fighting tonight, and I like the preparation that we put in this week. I like the attitudes that the kids have, and the thing is we've just got to maintain that great attitude and maintain that discipline, because they're going to do some good things tonight. They're a good football team, and we've got to respond the right way.
And speaking of the defense, last week there were some guys that were banged up, especially on the front line, the linebacker core. Is everybody a bit more healthy this week?
We're about in the same situation that we were last week.
Okay.
We not just in the linebacking core, but across the team, we've got we're battling a lot of injuries, and and that's not an excuse, but we're going to rely on some younger kids to step up in a big way, and that's what this program is built on, is that next man up mentality, and relying on our depth, because all these kids can play ball, and it's their time to shine.
And then let's talk about the other side of the ball real quick. Offensively, you guys are still pretty impressive last week with over 400 yards on offense. So just what do you like out of your offense this week, and how can you pick apart Buhler's defense?
So Buhler's a 4-3 cover 0 team. So what that means is they're going to stack the box and defend the run. I mean, they lead the state in negative yards rushing per attempt. Like I said, they're going to bring guys from all different directions and twist and slant, and so the running game is going to be tough. Even teams that have beat Buhler, you look at the Great Bend tape and you look at the Wamego tape, and neither team had success running the ball. I do feel like we've got a good chance to be able to move the ball on the ground, but we've talked to the kids, and I think we understand at this point they're going to slant and twist and blitz right sometimes, and so there'll be some frustration, there'll be some negative plays in the running game, but we just got to keep trusting ourselves and keep trusting our zone steps up front with the offensive line, and they may get us once or twice on a slant or a twist, but we got to stay the course, and for every negative play, we got a chance to bust a big one, because there's really, no rhyme or reason behind why they're slanting and twisting the way they are. But, there's going to be that one play where they're going to be twisting out of position, and we got to make them pay with that. So, the running game, there will be some frustrations, but we expect to hit some big ones on occasion too. In the passing game, same thing. They're going to be, slanting and twisting and blitzing and bringing 7, and we got to be able to handle those in our pass pro. But on the back end, we're going to have a lot of one-on-one situations. And we get guys into one-on-one situations, we got to go win. And, for years, that's been our recipe for success against Buhler, is to win on those one-on-one balls. And we've been working that pretty hard this week. That quarterbacks understand they may not have a whole lot of time to throw the ball if they're going to bring 7. So, practice has been great. I think our guys understand what we're doing and what we're trying to accomplish.
All right. Well, Coach, really appreciate you taking the time. Should be a fun one tonight. Best of luck.
Awesome. Thank you, sir.
That's head coach Chase Pavlovich for the McPherson Bullpups. We'll preview more coming up next. The starting lineups are coming up after this break. You're listening to coverage of McPherson High School football from the Midway Motors broadcast booth on 98.9 and 1540 KMCP.
We've got more of the Midway Motors Drive to the Game coming up. Midway Motors in McPherson, Newton, Hutchinson, and Hillsboro for every mile of life. 98.9 and 1540 KMCP. The McPherson Bullpups play here.
Looking for your next ride? This is Jason. Come see me at McPherson Car Connection, where you'll find quality used vehicles you can trust. McPherson Car Connection. Stop by today for a quick, no-hassle, enjoyable car buying experience.
McPherson's newest lunch and dinner spot is here. The Boiler House at 1725 East Euclid on the edge of the McPherson College campus serves fresh salads, sandwiches, and wraps, plus drinks for everyone. Open weekdays from 11 to 2, 4:30 to 8.
When quality of care matters, let the compassionate and professional staff at Hospice and Home Care of Reno County serve you. We are committed to the well-being of our community because we are your neighbors and friends. We provide services such as home health, hospice, private duty, palliative care, and voice care. Count on us to provide your in-home health care services. Wherever you consider home, Hospice and Home Care of Reno County, your local not-for-profit agency serving a 50-mile radius of Hutchinson. We care how you live.
Bullpup football on KMCP.
Welcome back to senior night here at McPherson Stadium. Currently, the Bullpup football seniors are being recognized, and there are 12 of which this year, which head coach Chase Pavlovich has said it is the smallest senior class that he has had in his tenure, and he's currently in his 11th season as the head coach, his 20th in the program. It will probably be a little bit different this time next year because there's about 20-odd juniors on this team, but even looking at Buhler, they have pretty much the same. They have 11 seniors on their team and 20 juniors. But yeah, McPherson has 23 juniors on their team, so both of these teams a little bit young, but yeah, as we speak, the senior night festivities are going on. What they do for the football players, they have them come out, which the football player senior night happens first. Everything else will be at halftime, but the players one by one go through that tunnel where all the players come out of with the band, cheerleaders, all that, and meet their parents at midfield as then they come in and take a look at the McPherson community. And the rest of the Bullpups will come out and take the field in just a couple of moments. But senior night, it's always special, especially in a game like this.
Oh, for sure. I mean, senior night, it's what could be the last game here at McPherson Stadium, what could be their last time playing football for some of these people. It's emotional. It gets you going. There's some adrenaline to it as well, but for parents, it's special. They get recognized for what their kids are doing. Plus, these kids, it's nice for the kids to get recognized as well.
Absolutely. Well, let's take you through the Act 360 Insurance starting lineups. Let's start off with the visiting Buhler Crusaders. On offense, on the front line, or actually, let's start off with the special teams. Their kicker, Nathan Wells, and their punter, Dylan Skripsick. The front line from left to right, Logan Turner, John Aldrich, Colby McCarty, Gage Edmond, and Nixon Stanley. The receiver crew, Landon Martinez, Eli White, Garrett Gleason, and their starting tight end is Jacob Miller. Their running back is Ben Klaus, their fullback, Max Harmony, and quarterback, Asher Zachary. Buhler's defense, starting on the front line as they run a 4-3 defense. Jackson Pratt, Noah Hayes, Jacob Burklow, and Lane Burkhart. The linebackers, Max Harmony, Jackson Rumbaugh, and Asher McConaughey. And the secondary, Dylan Skripsick, Jacob Miller, Kingston Reyes, and Landon Martinez. And for the McPherson Bullpups, on special teams, punter and kicker is Jackson Hoover. On the front line offensively, from left to right, Dylan Hall, Jace Gunn, Braxton Burgess, Creighton Bird, and McCoy Berggren. The wide receiver core, Ashton Malm, Isaac Puhala, Paxton Ingalls. Starting tight end is Bo Barkley. The running back is Dane Becker, quarterback Carter Bankson. And for McPherson's defense, they're switching things up this week from a 4-3 to more of a 4-2-5 look. But on the front line are Bo Barkley, Carter Leathers, Dylan Hall, and Jaron Stutzman. Towards the middle will be A.J. Bullocks, Asher Allen, and Nolan Piercy. And the secondary, Keaton Crane, Carter Busker, Dakota Lynn, and Dane Becker. Those are the starting lineups brought to you by Act 360 Insurance. Act 360 Insurance is here to partner in your legacy. Contact agents Darren Eddy or Cody Moores in Inman. It's McPherson versus Buhler. Senior night here at McPherson Stadium. Kickoff is up next. You're listening to Bullpup Football from the Midway Motors broadcast booth on KMCP.
More of the Midway Motors Drive to the Game coming up. Find exclusive stories highlighting Bullpup athletics at adastraradio.com. The McPherson Bullpups play on 98.9 and 1540 KMCP.
One of the most important elements of success is knowing when to expand and when to focus on strengthening what you have. At People's Bank and Trust, we've done just that over the years, ensuring that we always have a solid base to provide for our customers and our community. At People's Bank and Trust, we never promise more than we can deliver, and what we deliver is safe, sound, reliable banking that puts you first. Let us put our experience to work for you and your family. People's Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Struggling to catch your breath? Whether it's asthma, COPD, or pulmonary dysfunction, Hutchison Pulmonology Associates are here to help you breathe easier and live life to the fullest. Don't let breathing problems hold you back. With expert care and personalized treatment, we're here for you every breath of the way. Visit hutchregional.com or call 620-513-4800 today. Breathe better, feel better with Hutchison Regional.
Kansas. Trust the power of blue for your CanCare plan. Families trust Healthy Blue for doctor visits and prescriptions. New and expecting moms trust Healthy Blue for pregnancy support. And Healthy Blue provides extra benefits for your whole family. Choose the brand Kansans have trusted for more than 80 years. Visit choosehealthyblue.com/KS for more details. Trust the power of blue.
For over 80 years, Farm Bureau Financial Services has served the unique needs of the ag industry. We get to know you and your operation, providing coverage for your farm, ranch, machinery, crops, livestock, and so much more. Find out why we've been the #1 ag insurer for 25 years. It's your future. Let's protect it.
Call Farm Bureau agent Luke Bauer in McPherson at 620-241-0225.
#1 ag insurer across our territory. 1996 to 2021 SNL PNC Group Direct Written Premium.
Bullpup Football on KMCP.
kickoff is just moments away. McPherson and Buhler for senior night here at McPherson Stadium. The Bullpups 4-3, Buhler 5-2, but you can throw records out the window when it comes to this rivalry. McPherson has won the toss and has decided to defer to the second half. Buhler will have the ball to start off this ball game. And I don't know about you, Nathan. I'm anti-K-State this week as the Jayhawk grad myself, with it being the Sunflower Showdown. Joker and the Thief is really firing me up this week.
Oh, I'll tell you what, Joker and the Thief is a song that's going to fire you up no matter who you are, especially this game with this atmosphere.
McPherson is in their home reds, red jerseys, red pants with white stripes and white helmets, white lettering and numbering in cursive on the front spelling Bullpups. Buhler is in their road whites with black lettering and numbering, or more of a dark maroon on the front and back, and black helmets.
Hey, Lane, I want to say this real quick. It's been a big week for everybody involved here. I want to say happy belated birthday to you, buddy.
Couple of days late, but I appreciate you, brother. Those uniforms are brought to you by McPherson Laundry and Dry Cleaners. It's where to take your clothes. McPherson will kick from right to left as we view the field. Jackson Hoover adjusts his pads, puts his right arm up, then down, runs up to the lime green tee and kicks it high, end over end into the air, and it will be returned at the 5-yard line by Buhler. Going from left to right, it's Landon Martinez, stops on a dime, cuts left, finds a hole, but it will not matter a whole lot as he goes to the 28-29-yard line, and that's where Buhler's going to set up shop for their first drive on offense.
Lane, normally here I talk about the quarterback, but tonight I'm not going to talk about the quarterback. This is all going to be a power run football team. Ben Klaus, the running back, 126 attempts, just over 1,000 yards on the ground. He is an incredible running back here for the Crusaders, and that's who this offense is going to run through.
He set a school record in Week 4 against Circle, 367 rushing yards in that game. He has 15 rushing touchdowns this year. It's more of a split back, or not a split back, but more of a power formation. Well, now we have a little bit of confusion as officials are near the line of scrimmage looking towards the Buhler sideline. Didn't see a marker, but I think everybody's getting set or ready for this first play on offense. But you mentioned it, Nathan, 340 yards of offense per game for Buhler, 225 on the ground, and just about 115 through the air. Their starting quarterback is Asher Zachary. He only averages about 12 attempts per game, and he only had 3 last week. It looked like the pause was because we needed a new football. But we'll get underway for this first play from scrimmage. First down and 10 for Buhler at their own 29-yard line. In the I formation, Klaus dots the I. Fullback is Max Harmony. Tight end in motion. It's a pitch out far side for Klaus. Stop and go far edge. Met up and brought down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that first running play, and that's what McPherson has got to do, is contain that run if they want to beat Buhler tonight.
Yeah, and this is what you're trying to do with this 4-2-5 defense. That means you have now 5 defensive backs in the defensive backfield and only 2 linebackers. They want to try to put as many of their defensive backs who are better run tacklers right now than what they have currently at linebacker, and they want to try to get them into the run game more.
No gain, second down and 10. Now they're in the shotgun, but a tight end on each side right behind the tackles. Miller go to the right side, and now a pitch out and a fumble. It's on the turf, and McPherson picks it up in the backfield. How about that start? It's picked up by Jaron Stutzman. He just received his 3rd college offer this week from Sterling College, but he gets it done on the first possession. 2 plays in, the Bullpups get it back, or actually for the first time.
And you get it back right when you needed it the most. This is one of the biggest things that the Bullpups have needed to figure out these last few weeks, is the defensive side. Getting a huge takeaway early in this game is going to be big for the Bullpups and their momentum.
McPherson on offense now, not even a minute in, 11-12 to go in this first quarter. In the shotgun, Malm in motion left to right. Bankson takes a snap, rolls out, steps up, now cuts to the left, jukes away from a would-be tackler, cuts back right, and goes down to the 21-yard line. We've seen Carter Bankson, who can really get it done through the air, really show off his wheels over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I was talking to his granddad and dad, Don and Brad Bankston, Carter's granddad, like I said. They said they wanted to try to get him a little bit more into the running game as a football team, and I really like what he can do on the ground. He's a great athlete, but he's just even better as a thrower.
Gain of 2 yards, or 3 yards actually. Second down and 7 at the 21. They're going to fire screen pass far side. It's caught by Ingles, the senior, who went to the right side, then tried to spin back the other direction down to the 15. Maybe just got enough for the first down. Indeed he did, says the far side official, and moved the chains. First down and 10 at the 14-yard line of Buhler territory for McPherson. The Bullpups have the ball after recovering it on a fumble just a minute and a half into this game, looking for their first score.
Yeah, the first play of scrimmage where Carter Bankston took off and ran with it was designed to go to Ashton Malm, just screeching across the field. That time, they need to get a second receiver involved. Paxton Ingalls there with a big reception.
Even though they lost by a lot last week, still about 400 yards of offense. Handoff, Becker up the middle at the 5, diving for the goal line. Did he cross it? Did he? No. He is just a yard short. It's 1st and goal at the 1, though, for McPherson. But Dane Becker with the run of about 13 yards on his first carry, averaging 85 yards a game, and the Bullpups have 1st and goal.
Yeah, this is a really good Buhler front who's going to stop the run really well, effectively well. But if the Bullpups need to have success again, it's going to be getting Dane Becker going on the ground early in this game.
Twin backs in the backfield. Becker to the left, Millicent to the right of Bankston. High snap, but collects handoff. Millicent is met up in the backfield at about the 2-yard line is where they'll mark forward progress. But that's that tough front line for Buhler that stops them for a loss of 1 on 1st and goal.
Yeah, and when we talk about tough front line, you think about 6'2", 6'3", 240. No, these guys are all under 200 pounds, and the average weight is right around 189 pounds of this defensive line. These are small guys, but they're super aggressive, they're super quick, and they stop the run really well.
9:15 to go first quarter, no score. McPherson looking to break the scoreless tie. Same formation as last, but this time they're on the left hash. 2nd to goal at the 2, handoff, Becker up the middle, got to the 1, spinning, trying to cross the goal line, but pulling him down are 3 Buhler defenders. He gets halfway to where he needed to go, but it's 3rd down and goal at the 1-yard line for McPherson.
Yeah, you can kind of really go anywhere you want now with this play. If you want to go continue to run the football, give it to Brody Millicent or Dane Becker in the backfield, or even like a quarterback power with Carter Bankston, you absolutely can. But also don't be afraid of a quick slant here to the outside with Ashton Malm, even though Buhler's going to double team him all game long.
14 of the 27 touchdowns by McPherson this year have come on the ground. They'll go with the same formation. There's one receiver wide to the right, that's Malm. Snap taken. Bankston keeps, runs to the goal line, dives. Did he get pushed in? No, he's short by about a half a yard. Just short by a half a yard, and it's 4th down and goal with about 3 or 4 inches away from the goal line. Coming out of the pile fired up was Lane Burkhart. But now McPherson will go with a bit of a taller lineup, bringing in fullback Mason Miller and taller receiver Isaac Puhala for 4th down and goal at the 1.
Yeah, this is going to be a big play early. You get the early turnover, and now we'll see if Buhler can hold up here. 4th down and a half a yard, if you will. Man, what a big start to this game.
I formation. Bankston has Becker dotting the I. Miller is the fullback. Pitch out. Becker is cutting to the left, and he splits the defense to cross the goal line. Touchdown, McPherson. Dane Becker looked dead to rights, but the shiftiness of the junior cuts him across the goal line, and McPherson strikes first. 7:44 to go first quarter.
Yeah, bringing in the I formation or the hippo package, just something bigger, makes Buhler tighten up really, really close. But that time the defensive end got out there and held contained pretty well, but Dane Becker was able to cut back up, make a man miss, and get in the end zone for 6 after that big fumble recovery by Jaron Stutzman on the last Buhler drive.
Jackson Hoover in to kick the PAT, was 3 for 3 last week. Good snap, good hold, and the kick does split the uprights. It is good, and it's 7-0 McPherson early. You talk about making a statement. There's one right there. Can they turn it around again on defense? Find out in 30 seconds. You're listening to Bullpup Football from the Midway Motors broadcast booth on KMCP.
Midway Motors offers the most convenient way to service your vehicle with our pickup and drop-off service. Multi-point inspection video texted to you so you can see what the technicians are seeing. Handy text approvals of proposed work, and even the option to pay through text. And if you decide it's time to sell your vehicle, we can appraise your vehicle and let you know what it's worth. Schedule your hassle-free service appointment today at midwaymotors.com. Midway Motors, for every mile of life.
98.9 and 1540 KMCP.
A fumble recovery 2 plays in defensively leads to McPherson striking first. 7-0 they lead over Buhler. 7:44 to go in this first quarter. And what a start for McPherson here to start off. And they allowed Buhler to get the ball first, an offense that's been great all year long. But boy, is McPherson really feeling it to start off. But how do they keep this going?
Well, yeah, you got to weather the storm. You know Buhler's going to come back here, and and put up a good offensive drive. They're going to get back to the run game and just go power run right at you. But you got to weather the storm. Get a good stop here. It's okay if you give up a first down or two. You just got to keep them from scoring here.
Well, Hoover gets ready to kick the ensuing kickoff as he adjusts his pads and boots it away, high end over end, side over side, and Martinez, who had a good return last time, will take it from his own 2. He's on the right hash, cutting through, gets away from one would-be tackler, stays upright. Hoover tries to beat him. Far side 50, 45, and finally brought down at the 40-yard line in McPherson territory by Brody Hoffman. But Landon Martinez was a terrific returner, gets a big one right there, finding a hole, and Buhler will set up at the McPherson 40.
Yeah, getting the offense back out on the field, especially in good field position after the turnover and after everything that's just happened for Buhler is going to be huge. I mean, just getting this offensive line going again, this is a big offensive line. It's exactly why they want to go power run. And with McPherson going to the 4-2-5, I'd like to see Ben Klaus and the rest of this running back room get up the middle, stay between the tackles, and just pick up 4, 5, 6 yards at a time.
Average weight of the offensive line, 255 pounds. In the eye, handoff to the fullback Harmony, who got met up immediately by Leathers. He brought him down for a gain of about 4 yards, or 3 yards is rather mark it, but that was quick, fast, in a hurry on the handoff to senior fullback Max Harmony, who averages about 40 rushing yards per game, but got his first touchdown last week in their win over Winfield. And that makes it 2nd and 7.
Yeah, just a simple fullback dive. I love Lane when they bring in the fullback. I'm an old school football guy with a spread offense love. But bringing on the fullback, that gets me going.
Zachary in the shotgun. They will hand it off to Klaus. Going to the right side, Stutzman meets him, but Klaus lowers the head to try to push forward. Millicent also met him up down low, and a gain of about 3 or 4 yards. 4 yards is where they'll mark it. 3rd down and 3 coming up for Buhler, a 3rd down offense that converts only 34% of the time.
Yeah, Ben Klaus, strong runner. He put his head down there and tried to go right through Jaron Stutzman, picked up an extra yard or 2. But Ben Klaus himself is only 5'8", 165 pounds. He's not a big running back, but he's a strong running back with a short center of balance.
6.5 minutes to go first quarter. McPherson with a 7-0 lead over Buhler here on senior night at McPherson Stadium. 3rd down and 3 for Buhler at the McPherson 33. Zachary in the shotgun, 3 receivers. Fake handoff. Zachary rolls out to his right, fires to his favorite target. It is Jacob Miller for a first down at the 25, driving forward to the 20, and it takes multiple Bullpups to bring him down. Forward progress will mark him at the 20-yard line, but still move the chains for a first down for a gain of 13 yards on the pitch and catch to Jacob Miller.
Yeah, and right now with the injuries the Bullpups have withstand the last few weeks, you got to almost sell out to stop the run, especially against this Buhler team. And so when you go play action, sneak the tight end out into the flat and just toss it out to him, you're going to pick up 5, 10, 13, 15 yards, and it's an excellent first down pickup and continuing this drive for the Crusaders.
Just the first down of the game for Buhler, a team that averages 14 per contest. They're 5-2 on the year. Their lone 2 losses are Great Bend and Wamego. In the shotgun, it's Jacob Miller taking the snap. It's an option left side, but Miller's going to keep. He got met up down low and tripped up. He's still stretched out for extra yardage, but a gain of 5 yards, and a good job by Dakota Lynn to make sure it was no further, but still a good chunk of change for the 6'1" senior tight end.
Yeah, 6'1", 230-pound tight end too. He is a big boy, and he is tough to bring down in open space. That time, an excellent job by the outside linebacker to bring him down and only allow a 5-yard pickup.
Just a couple of weeks ago, he received a college offer from Butler Community College. He's terrific defensively, although now playing as a safety due to injuries on that safety front for Buhler. 2nd down and 5 minutes to go first quarter. They're at the McPherson 15. Man in motion left to right. McPherson shifts defensively up front. Fake to the fullback, give it to the tailback, Klaus, who gets met up near side, but spins away to push forward for a first down. Inside the 10 to the 9-yard line, Buhler will have first down and goal.
Yeah, with Lane, with the change to the 4-2-5 defense, I've noticed that the linebackers that are in the game right now are Asher Allen and Carter Melton. Nolan Piercy is now that hangover edge backer, if you will, that's more of the nickel backer that's just a hangover edge and stopping the run on the front side, which makes, really, it's 5 linemen, but 4 linemen is what they're going to call it.
First down and goal at the 10-yard line for Buhler. They break the huddle with 8 on the play clock. 4:20 to go in the first quarter. McPherson leads 7-0. Miller takes the snap out of the shotgun, fakes the handoff, runs to the left side, and there's a hole which he finds, and he will cross the goal line for a Buhler touchdown. Jacob Miller crosses the goal line, and they're an extra point away from tying this game with 4:12 to go in the first quarter.
Yeah, what an excellent play call. I mean, they just got out. They went quarterback power run out of the Wildcat, and Miller just went untouched. But 54, Gabe Edmond with an excellent block on the outside. The pulling right guard got out there, out into space, and sealed off that edge.
After only getting -6 yards in their first drive, they get a 40-yard drive this time. PAT from Wells is up, and late signal from the officials, but it's good. It's 7-all here with 4:12 to go in the first quarter. Back at 30 seconds for the ensuing kickoff. You're listening to McPherson High School football from the Midway Motors broadcast booth on KMCP.
Even trying to enjoy a fun event can be difficult after the loss of a loved one. Unanswered questions, feelings of stress and grief are only natural. As the owner and director of Inman Funeral Home, I bring over 25 years of experience bringing comfort and empathy during time of loss. Rely on me to guide you through all aspects of planning a funeral service with compassion, dignity, and respect. I'm Athena Johnson with Inman Funeral Home. Find me at inmanfh.com.
98.9 and 1540 KMCP.
Buhler ties the game on an ensuing drive, 40 yards out, but capped off by a 10-yard touchdown run by tight end Jacob Miller, who received a couple of snaps and had a couple of rushes on that possession. But now it's a deadlock game. We're tied at 7, and McPherson will have the ball once again. But in their first drive, they had it at the Buhler 24-yard line because they recovered a fumble. This time, they have to do it the hard way.
Well, yeah, they're not going to have to drive. And I know coming into the game, I know Ashton Malm was a big storyline coming into the game, at least for us. He's back out there. He's back deep to return this kick. We'll see what they can do.
Yeah, he missed practice Monday through Wednesday because of a hand injury, and at first we thought that maybe he would be kept off the special teams, but he's good to go. It's a squib kick going high into the air, returned at the 30-yard line and then to the 31. So not a whole lot of room there, but that was a short squib kick in decent field position after picking it up and getting brought down immediately with sophomore Caleb Postier. But now the Bullpup offense starting it at their own 31, 4:09 to go first quarter.
Yeah, we didn't talk about him on the first drive, but Carter Bankston, starting quarterback, 67.9% completion percentage, just over 1,500 yards through the air, 13 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He's been a really good quarterback for the Bullpups.
That second interception did come last week, but the other of which was against Great Bend in week 1. He's going to look to throw deep across the middle for Malm, makes the catch at midfield and brought down at around the 49-yard line and move the chains, and they're going to try to rely on that guy to get the ball rolling here in this ball game.
What an excellent pickup on the post by Ashton Malm. And I mean, when you get one-on-one, 21-yard pickup by Ashton Malm, you get one-on-one against Landon Martinez. That's exactly what you want with Ashton Malm. Carter Banks is going to take the shot every single time.
Absolutely. And this is a pass defense for Buhler that gave up 264 passing yards last week. And yeah, it was against Winfield, but this season, almost 200 of the near 300 yards they give up a game are through the air. Empty back, 4 receivers, 1 tight end. Bankson rolls to his right now, cuts back to the left side, gets off of one man near side, but then brought down by his ankles, stretching forward for a couple of yards. Good job by Bankson to avoid the sack. He has only been sacked 5 times this year, but he gets a gain of about 2 yards on first down in Buhler territory. They're at the Buhler 47.
Yeah, it looked like a bootleg out to the outside, trying to look for Ashton Malm on the out route, but they put Ashton kind of at that running back position and then had him go out into his normal wide receiver spot. Had some miscommunication in the Buhler secondary, but were unable to make the completion. Bankston picks up 2 yards and keeps them within the chains.
Tie game 7 apiece, 3 minutes to go first quarter. High snap, Bankton, quick fire near side, caught by Puhala, but he gets tripped up for a gain of a yard down to the 46-yard line. It'll be third down and medium coming up for the Bullpups.
Yeah, just getting him out into the flat. Isaac Puhala, that is, catching it, trying to get his head up and make some yardage out of nothing there. Had a couple of Buhler Crusaders there ready to clean him up. Only picked up a yard. Now it's a big third down. You got to get a first down here and continue this drive and keep the Buhler offense off the field.
McPherson breaks the huddle in an empty back 5-wide set, but one of those receivers on the near side is Brody Millison. The one past the numbers near side is Ashton Malm, and an extra defender will come in for on that direction, but Bankson gets the snap and tried to do a QB design run, but met up front for a loss of about 3 yards, so makes that fourth down and 10, and Jackson Hoover will come in to punt.
Yeah, that just looked like a quarterback draw, if you will. I mean, just try to sneak him out and get the Buhler defenders up the field and really catch him out of contain. But now you're going to have to punt this football after the 3-yard loss.
Hoover to punt, 2 back deep to return for Buhler. They are Landon Martinez and Jacob Miller. Martinez already had a terrific kick return earlier, which really set Buhler up in good field position. Hoover's going to keep it, running to the far side. He's a good athlete, and he's going to go out of bounds, but a flag is down up front for a possible hold, but I think they just tried to go with a fake that time. A little bit of trickery in a game like this, but he only got a gain of about 2 yards, did Hoover. But we'll check the marker, which I believe is offensive holding, which if so, they would decline.
Holding. Offense. Yeah, it is going to be, they're going to decline this. The offense is going to come back out. With the fake punt there, now you've set up Buhler in really good field position. You're going to have to take some chances on the offense, take some shots. I like the aggressiveness early on. Now you put the onus on the defense and tell them to go get a stop here.
They'll take over at the 48-yard line in their own territory. So back-to-back possessions for Buhler in decent field position, but that time doing so after a turnover on downs after a fake punt. So now Buhler takes over with 1:31 to go first quarter at their own 48. In the I formation, Zachary will hand it off. Klaus gets met up at the line of scrimmage, and he goes nowhere. No gain on that play. A good start for this drive for the Bullpup front line.
Yeah, that was Dylan Hall getting in there from his defensive tackle position. He's the team's leading tackler right now, 47 tackles, 2 tackles for loss. He's really been the focal point of this defense when it comes to blocking schemes for offenses, and so he's struggled to get any tackles for loss or any push for now because he's getting double teamed a lot, but he is creating more tackles.
No gain, 2nd down and 10 for Buhler. Again in the I formation, 1 receiver wide on each side, tight end in motion as 1 receiver moves up and 1 back now. Zachary awaits the snap, takes it, fake handoff, rolling to his right, firing, and it is knocked away and incomplete. Good defense by Nolan Piercy to come on in because he read like a book that the receiver on the near side was wide open, so he came in and closed it out. Incomplete, 3rd down and 10 coming up. Jaron Stutzman, however, is slow getting back to the huddle, and he's in some pain. And that would be a key loss if it's his right shoulder. He's trying to stretch it out, but I think he's telling his sideline. Yeah, he's telling his sideline to stay in.
Yeah, 100%. But Nolan Piercy, an excellent job. He was that hangover defender, just had to get back into the flat, into coverage, put his hands up in the air, knocked it away.
3rd down and 10 for Buhler. Shotgun set, trips to the right, 1 to the left. Zachary, pressure comes in, and he is brought down. Bo Barkley with the sack back at the 45-yard line. And what a key defensive stop for the McPherson Bullpups. It will be punt time for Buhler for the first time today.
What a play there by Bo Barkley. He had the right tackle. He took the right tackle up the field, then spun back around as Zachary was stepping up into the pocket and just ran right into Bo Barkley's arm. What an excellent sack and what a momentum boost for this Bullpups defense.
Dylan Skripsick, the punter, Ashton Malm back deep to return. They take the high snap and the punt is away. Side over side it spins on the turf at the 30, then bouncing to the 25. Left side 24-23 as zeros hit the timer. McPherson will take over at the 23, I should say, when the second quarter begins. We're back in 30 seconds as it's a deadlock tie, 7 apiece through 12 minutes of play. Second quarter coming up after this. You're listening to Bullpup Football from the Midway Motors broadcast booth on KMCP.
At People's Bank and Trust, we value our customers. We know you have plenty of choices for your mortgage loans, but we think we have what you're looking for: relationship banking. And if you're considering refinancing or purchasing a new home, check our competitive rates before you make that change. Your payments will be made at home, and you'll receive good personalized service. That's how we've established many long-lasting relationships. Make a change, know your lender, and make your payments at home with People's Bank and Trust. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
98.9 and 1540 KMCP.
Coverage of Bullpup football is brought to you by McPherson College. You bring the dream, we'll build the team. Success is a team effort. Begin building yours at McPherson College. It's a great day to be a Bulldog.
Go Dogs!
We're also brought to you by Nextech Wireless. You can stream every game live with the Ad Astra Radio app, powered by Nextech Wireless. Find the latest phones and devices at the best prices. McPherson with a key defensive stop to end off the first quarter. Tie game at 7 through 1 quarter of play. McPherson is back on offense. Last time they turned it over on downs. They were going to punt, but a fake punt forced just a 1-yard gain on 4th and 10. This time offense back on. Handoff out of the shotgun. Becker, stop and go move near side at the 30. Cuts back 35, then takes a lick at the 36. Becker's okay. What a hit by Jacob Miller, who just got an offer from Butler Community College. They're going to like that hit. He's a guy that normally plays at linebacker, but because of key injuries to Garrett Gleason and McCade Zachary, he moved to the safety position. He's been pretty darn good this year. He showed it right there. That was 100% a legal hit, and I think we're glad to say Dane's fine, but that's what those pads are for.
Yeah, they both bounced off of each other. That was mano-a-mano. What a hit.
First down, though, at the 37. Bankton, high pass, deep, and over the head of Puhala, and incomplete as he had his defensive back burned, but it was too high, which you don't often say for a receiver who's 6'4", but he was at the 35, and the ball bounced incomplete at the 30. Incomplete makes it 2nd and 10 at the McPherson 37 for the Bullpups.
Yeah, the Bullpups that time on offense went double post with Malm on the outside and Puhala coming out of the slot. They went double post and had space for both, and Bankston almost just kind of threw it in the middle of them both. So Puhala is the closest receiver. He's going to get the one with the target. But however, both receivers were in the area. Both had their defenders beat.
McPherson rushing up to the ball as the play clock's down to 5. Bankton in the shotgun, trips to the left. Malm in motion from the tailback position. They're going to fire it, intended for Malm, but it's incomplete as he tried to hold out his left hand, but the ball was a little too much ahead of him. That was very dangerous from teetering on forward to backward pass, but the official said forward pass incomplete. Back-to-back incompletions. It's 3rd and 10 for McPherson.
Yeah, Lane, taking 2 shots, taking 2 throws here, and it was close to being a backwards pass, but what the Bullpups are trying to do here is just get Ashton Malm into space and get him the football. Most teams so far this year have double-teamed him hard, and so he hasn't had the space to get open like he had earlier in the year. That time they're just trying to create this space.
11:23 in the first half. 3rd down and 10 for McPherson. Bankton, it'll be a screen pass up the middle. It's caught, but not going much farther than the line of scrimmage, or actually down to the 40-yard line, was Brody Hoffman, but just a gain of 3 yards. That'll make it 4th down. No correction. That's Aaron Winter. We welcome him back. He missed last week due to an injury. In fact, he didn't practice all week as he's still dealing with a hamstring problem, but he was a game-time decision, and he's good to go. But a 3-yard catch does not make it enough, and McPherson will be forced to punt on 4th and 7.
Yeah, I'm really impressed right now with this defensive front. They're a well-coached team. Steve Warner's in his 20th season as head coach. He's a really good football coach. They are very disciplined.
Hoover's ensuing punt is high in the air. Fair caught by Landon Martinez at the 31-yard line, and that's where Buhler will set up shop in their next possession, their first of which in this second quarter. Buhler was forced to punt last time. There have been 2 possessions where they had negative yardage, the other of which ended in a touchdown.
Yeah, this is a really good offense, Lane, and when they get going, they're going to get going and run this football really well and create some space there and make some long, nice drives. But the Bullpups defense so far on 2 of those drives has been immaculate.
Buhler takes over, 1st down and 10 at their own 31-yard line with 10:43 to go. It is a botched snap on the ground. They're going to still hand it off to Klaus, and he gets a gain out of this play of 4 yards. Sort of a no-yes play by Buhler. Zachary was not able to cleanly get the snap, but he still had the presence of mind to hand that off.
Yeah, that was almost a big play for Buhler. The Bullpups saw the ball on the ground. They got a slightly over-aggressive and came out of their containments a little bit, in their assignments a little bit, and Klaus had some space to run, but he just had to break that one tackle. Excellent tackle by the Bullpups to bring him down only after a 3-yard gain.
2nd and 7 for Buhler. Again in the I formation. They will fake the handoff. Zachary keeps looking for a lane left side, finds one, but doesn't get too much of one, but still gets the first down. Bo Barkley brought him down to close it off, but it's a gain of about 9 yards and move the chains for Buhler at the Buhler 43.
It almost looked like an option play a little bit, but it actually I think was just a designed quarterback sweep out to the outside, and they're just going to block in his own scheme and block areas. Excellent pickup and a big first down for Buhler.
First and 10 at their own 43 for the Crusaders. 9:45 to go first quarter. Tie game at 7. Zachary in the I formation takes the under center snap, looking to throw. One-on-one ball, far side. It is up in the air, deflected, and it hits the turf. It's incomplete. Good defense by Keaton Crane, hounding all over the receiver, Landon Martinez, who's a terrific speedster. But Crane, who's really filled in his role, a senior as the defensive back, makes it incomplete, second down.
You know, that one's going to go into the scorebook lane as a pass breakup. However, I'm pretty sure that hit Keaton Crane in the helmet.
Probably. He was not looking at the ball. He was faced more towards the receiver, but
if
still.
If he would have turned around, that would have been an interception.
And a good job doing so without making contact. Second down and 10 for Buhler. This time in the shotgun. Trips to the right. One receiver left on the left hash. Almost another bobbled snap. It's an option play. Zachary keeps. Spins across the 45, but down to the 47, maybe 48-yard line to make it third down and medium for Buhler. Carter Melton brought him down, and it was a good job by McPherson keeping both guys contained to make sure there was no chunk play. Third down and 5 yards coming up for Buhler.
Yeah, the Bullpups are just, for lack of a better way of putting it, not prepared to see Asher Zachary run. He's got 19 attempts this season, negative 20 yards.
Well, a lot of those, he has been sacked quite a few times this year. But Zachary will line up in the I formation on third down and 5. They will fake 2 handoffs, and here comes pressure. He throws after getting hit, but it's incomplete. Good defense. Pushing towards the backfield was Carter Melton, hitting Zachary as he threw. Incomplete, makes it fourth down, and they'll punt it away.
It looks like just a little bit of a delayed blitz or almost a stunt up front. The defensive tackle went one way, and Melton, as the linebacker, went across where the defensive tackle was at, confused the offensive line, and was able to get home. What an excellent play by Carter Melton, just a sophomore and just his first start of the year for this Bullpups defense.
So I misspoke. The punter is not Dylan Skripsick. It's Asher McConaughey, but he takes the snap. Ashton Malm back deep to return. High side over side punt, far side backspin at the 20, and taking a McPherson bounce again. Buhler saying they got to get on it, and they finally do at the 23-yard line, and that's where McPherson will set up shop on their next possession. We're still tied at 7, 8:44 to go, first quarter. Before this drive begins, we'd like to thank our sponsors for helping us out. Ag 360 Insurance with Darren Eddy and Cody Moores, RC Heating and Cooling, Great Plains Federal Credit Union, and Edward Jones McPherson.
Yeah, for this upcoming Bullpups drive, I'd look to continue to get Dane Becker going. I mean, he's only got 4 carries, 27 yards, a big 13-yard run to start the drive last time, and then it kind of stalled out. Just stick with Dane Becker just a little bit, even though these Buhler Crusaders can stop the run.
McPherson will hand it off on first down. It is Becker up the gut driving as he lowers the head and gets a gain of about 6 yards on first down. A good nickel and dime play for the tailback, Dane Becker, who's responsible for the lone touchdown for McPherson so far.
And you know what I like, Lane? Right now there's an aggressiveness. Braxton Burgess in the center position was super aggressive, was very held on to his block until the whistle, and was 5, 10, 15 yards down the field with the defensive tackle.
I will say about Braxton, there have been times where he made some bad snaps. He kind of kicked himself in the foot, but mentally he's been sharper this week in practice. They'll hand it off again. Becker with a full head of steam gets met up near the sticks, and they're going to give it to him. They gave him the full 4 yards that he needed, and it's first down for McPherson.
Yeah, when the Bullpups were going right, Braxton Burgess and this entire offensive line, Dylan Hall, Jay Scunn, Creighton Bird, McCoy Berggren, they were aggressive. They were getting a push on this against defensive lines, and right now I'm seeing that again. We didn't see that the last few weeks, but that's a big adjustment for this Bullpups offense.
First down and 10 for McPherson at their own 34. Less than 8 minutes to go first quarter. Tie game at 7. Bankton in the pistol. They will hand it off again. Up the middle goes the tailback, but for just a gain of 2 yards, trying a stutter step move was Dane Becker, but then got met up by the front line for this Buhler defense. Second down and 8 coming up for McPherson.
Now, Lane, you just ran the football. You picked up 2 yards. This is where you run that play action, just sneak out Nolan Piercy, Bo Barkley as the tight end into the flat. Go pick up 5, 6, 7 more yards and get close to that first down.
They're at the 36-yard line in their own territory. McPherson looks to the sideline as they get their play. Play clock still down to 15. Plenty of time in the shotgun. 2x2 receivers. Bankton looks to throw. Steps up at the pocket. Fires high near side for Chapman. It's just out of his outstretched hands and incomplete in what would have been at the Buhler 47. They just tried a simple out route, but Chapman unable to haul it in. It was a bit too far in front of him. Incomplete. Third down and 8 for McPherson.
Little bit of a levels concept there with Paxton Ingalls running a pure out route, just a 5-yard out route, and then Colt Chapman running almost like a corner route or like a 15-yard out route, but with Carter Bankston making just the overthrow. It was there. It was right there. If Colt Chapman was 5'10" instead of 5'9", that's a reception and a first down.
Chapman getting more playing time as a sophomore. He's in motion with trips to the near side, 3rd down and 8, looking to throw. Bankston steps up into the pocket. Here comes pressure, but he's going to go down in the backfield, and it will be a sack on the play down to the original line of scrimmage at the 34 to make it 4th down and 10, and McPherson will have to punt it away once again.
Yeah, this, like I said, this defensive line here, they get after it. I mean, almost every single defensive lineman for the Buhler Crusaders defense has at least 2 sacks, with Jackson Pratt having 6. They can get after the quarterback.
Hoover will punt it away. Jacob Miller, Landon Martinez back deep to return for Buhler. Hoover takes the snap, rolls to the right, and then boots it away low, side over side. It will bounce at the turf high in the air, be picked up by Miller at the 33. Cutting left, flag is down at the 45. Jets off of one man, 50 near side, has a lane, 45-40. Puhala trying to beat him at the 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown. But this one more than likely is coming back as a penalty marker is down at the 40-yard line.
Yeah, this is going to be the other returnman. Just got a block in the back, and Martinez blocking the back there, and it's going to that created that lane to set up the wall for Buhler Crusaders, and this defense for the Bullpups going to have to come back out here, probably going to be on the 30-yard line, and Buhler's going to be set up for a 70-yard drive here.
So they do say holding. So you were 0 for 1 that time, but that takes away what would have been a punt return for a touchdown. Sorry about that, Nathan, but still.
We were close enough.
It's a 10-yard penalty either way.
Either way, 10-yard penalty, we'll call it a blocking infraction.
There you go. 10 yards from the spots. We'll put Buhler at their own 30, but that key penalty is what took away what would have been a punt return touchdown. So it still stays a tie game. 6:08 to go in the second quarter in this tied game at 7 here at McPherson Stadium. Senior night for McPherson. But looking to turn it around after a 2-game losing streak. Buhler looking to be unbeaten in league play. They've already clinched at least a share of the league title. If they lose today, they will share it with Mulvane and both be 4-1 in league play. But Buhler trying to go the full 5-0. 1st down and 10 at their own 30 in the I formation. Klaus dots the I as there's a fullback back there too. 2 receivers wide to the right. Zachary hands it off to Klaus, finding a hole on the right side, cutting back left, but tripped up by the second level for McPherson for a gain of 6 yards on the 1st down on that drive.
Yeah, just a simple dive play. I mean, they're going to go man on man. They're going to go duo, which means some double teams up front on this offensive line and create that space. And Klaus is that's the 5'8" running back, just going to weasel his way through. And then when you least expect him, he's going to lower his head and run right through you.
He's a guy that has good speed right out of the gate. 2nd down and 4. Same formation, actually 1 receiver on each side, but they're going to hand it to Klaus again. Trying to use a blocker to help him out, but then he got hit hard on the right side of the line. Just a gain of a yard, and that will make it 3rd down and 3 for Buhler.
Yeah, you know what, Lane? I really like what Buhler's trying to do here with the I formation, just running between the tackles. That's where they're at their strength. And the Bullpups team is actually defending it really, really well right now and making sure that they stay assignment sound as the quarterback, Asher Zachary, is going to come out of this football game, and they're going to go into the Wildcat here.
Wow. Indeed, it looks like they will on 3rd down and 3. I mean, heck, Steve Warner's been a head coach for 39 years. I mean, he's got a lot up his sleeve. Klaus and Miller are in the backfield. Now, Miller's taken snaps before. 2 tight ends lined up to the right. Miller's going to keep running to the right side. He finds an opening. Becker trips him up across midfield for a touchdown-saving tackle, but it will be 1st down at the McPherson 47-yard line on that terrific trick play by Buhler.
Yeah, again, they just bring the Wildcat in, and with Miller, he's going to run through arm tackles, and right now he's doing that with ease and bouncing off of Bullpup tacklers and picking up a big 16, 17 yards on this play.
They mark it at the McPherson 46-yard line. Buhler back in McPherson territory. 1st down and 10, 4:25 to go in this first half. Tie game at 7. Shotgun, but tight end in motion. Handoff, Klaus looking for a hole right side. Tripped up and down for a gain of a yard. What a job for the defender to get around his block. I think that was Carter Melton who did. I actually think it was Asher Allen who did. He got around his blocker and tripped up Klaus for only a 1-yard gain.
Yeah, an excellent job by Asher Allen. As the middle linebacker, he's now in week 3 or 4 of him kind of running this middle linebacker position and running this defense. He's kind of taking an ownership here and is doing an excellent job flowing downhill and creating contact with the running back.
2nd down and 9 for Buhler at the McPherson 45. They'll line up in the shotgun. One man lined up behind the left tackle on the left side, one on the right as well. Fake handoff, Zachary rolls to his left. Pressure comes, hit as he throws. High pass into the air, overthrown and incomplete as it hit the turf at the 15-yard line. But McPherson up front put pressure on Zachary to force that incompletion. It will be 3rd down and 8.
Yeah, another sophomore, Brody Millicent, came into the game and brought some pressure on Asher Zachary and had to make him get rid of the football earlier than he wanted, but a double team on Jacob Miller, just unable to connect deep down the field.
Correction, it's actually 3rd down and 9, so just 1 yard a little deeper for Buhler. 3.5 minutes, 3:32 to go in the first half, but we'll have whistles blow as I think the play clock did not get reset. Yep, that's what the official's saying. The play clock was not reset properly, so they will reset it so. Oh, whistles blow again. Do we have a timeout? Yeah, we do. Timeout called, I think, by Buhler.
Yeah.
So they will look things over with 3rd down and 9 coming up with 3:32 to go in the first half. Tie game, 7 apiece. They're at the McPherson 45-yard line. While we have this pause in the action, I'd like to thank our sponsors for helping us out. Art Shirt Gear for Sport, McPherson Booster Club, Farmers Alliance, Next Tech Wireless, McPherson College, Idea Tech, Prairie Hills Financial with Glenn Snell, Pleasant View Home, McPherson Car Connection, the Boiler House, People's Bank and Trust, and Erickson Custom Building. Nathan, this is a big 3rd down coming up. Now, tied game at 7, 3:32 to go in the first half. Do want to bear in mind McPherson does get the ball to start the second half. It's just been a defensive slugfest so far. Both scores came about halfway through the first quarter. Actually, McPherson's came early. Buhler's about halfway through the first quarter, nothing since. But Buhler back in McPherson territory, looking for a big play right here.
Yeah, you said it. This is just a defensive slugfest right now, but if you would have told me that coming into the game, I would have told you were lying because both these offenses are really good. I thought this would have been more of a shootout, but both these defenses have stepped up and made big stops when they needed to.
3rd down and 9 in the shotgun. 2 receivers to the right side. They're going to pitch it up the middle to Martinez, and he gets wrapped up, but he gets away from it, driving forward, but he will be short by about 1 yard or 2. Good job by McPherson to just keep him short. He'll be short by 1 yard, and it will be 4th down and 1 for Buhler.
What a play call. What a play design. They brought the right guard. They pulled him out to the left of the offensive backfield, but also took the quarterback and running back on an option to the right. And as they were doing that, then Martinez came screeching across the field. They flipped it for him on a little pop pass, and he picked up 8 yards, and now a big 4th down and 1.
I formation. Klaus dots the I, but there's 2 fullbacks in the backfield. They will hand it off. Klaus on the right side gets the first down and just a couple more. Just found the little bit of a hole that he needed, and he got it for a first down. Needed 1, he got 3.
Yeah, again, just was able to squeak out to the outside of the backfield, offensive backfield, beyond that right tackle, pick up 3 yards, duck underneath a Bullpup defender, and pick up another first down for these Buhler Crusaders.
2:35 to go first half. 1st and 10 at the McPherson 34 for Buhler. Zachary in the eye. Fake handoff rolling to his left. Here comes pressure by Melton trying to outrun him, and Melton wraps him up and brings him down. Maybe no gain, maybe 1 yard, but good defense by Melton using that speed to take down Zachary. They will give him a gain of 1, but 2nd down and 9 coming up for Buhler.
Yeah, an excellent job there by Carter Melton. He just react what was going on out of his middle linebacker position, flowed downhill, and was able to catch Asher Zachary before he was able to cut upfield and make it for a big gain. Only a pickup of 1. Excellent job.
Very late substitution for Buhler, and the receiver that came out looks a little bit confused on what the play is. That's Karsten Seidel. Trips to the right, 1 receiver wide left in the shotgun. Zachary looks to throw across the middle. It is caught, 25-20 and down to the 15. That was the aforementioned Seidel. It works out for Buhler and moves the chains for a first down to the McPherson 17. 1:46 to go in the first half.
Yeah, that was an excellent throw by Asher Zachary. He hung strong into the pocket, stood tall, and fired a bullet over the middle of the field, and an excellent pickup of 14 yards for the Crusaders.
Tie game at 7 apiece as we wind down this first half. McPherson does get the ball to start the second half. Zachary in the eye. They will hand it off to Klaus, looking for a lane right side. Met up and just right behind his blocker. Then McPherson pushes him back at the 15 or 16. Maybe a gain of 1 at most, but a timeout call by Buhler, their second of the half.
Yeah, with 1 minute and 23 seconds left in this half, they're going to want to try to put some points on the board and have as much time as possible. Good timeout here for Buhler.
This drive so far has gone on for about 4.5 minutes. They started this drive with a little over 6 minutes to go in this first half. There's 1:23 left now. It will be 2nd down and 8 at the McPherson 15 for Buhler when this timeout comes to an end. Buhler has 1 left. I'd like to thank our sponsors, Midway Motors, Prairie Land Partners, American Family Insurance with Steve Barr, Jar Automotive, Iron Horse Financial, Bethany Village, Advanced Physical Therapy, and 37 Print Co. 1:23 to go. Buhler with the ball in business, as they've just nickel and dime their way down the field. And this Buhler offense trying to click to take the lead going into the locker room in a game where both of these defenses have been pretty stellar.
Yeah, this is exactly what Buhler likes to do. They want to run the football, and then set up the play action pass. And that's what they're doing to perfection right now and keeping this Bullpups defense kind of on their toes.
In the I formation, 2nd down and 8 for Buhler at the McPherson 15. In between the hashes, 2 receivers left. Play action. Zachary looks high into the air. End zone 1-on-2. Knocked away and incomplete. Terrific defense by Keaton Crane to knock it loose and force a 3rd down. Piercy came in a bit late defensively, but Crane was on him like a hawk. And it is 3rd down and 8 coming up for Buhler.
What a really nice play by Keaton Crane. Was able to keep the hand from kind of grabbing on the outside or the outside hip of the wide receiver and pushing him around, which would have been pass interference. He stayed clean and was able to tip that football away. 2 excellent pass breakups by Keaton Crane here tonight.
3rd down and 8 for the McPherson 15. In the I formation, Zachary under center, Klaus the tailback, 1 receiver wide each side. Zachary will look to throw. 3-step drop, fires near side, overthrown and incomplete. Intended on the out route to Dylan Skripczyk, and it's 4th down coming up for Buhler.
Yeah, it just looked like he rushed his feet just a little bit and was unable to just set properly, get good rhythm and make the throw. Just almost like Bo Barkley running out in front of his face on his rush just sped him up a little bit.
They're going to try a field goal. Nathan Wells will come out. He's 1 for 3 on field goals this season. He was 0 for 1 last week. This is a 31-yard field goal in between the hashes. With 1:13 to go in the first half. Good snap, hold is down, kick on the way. That's wide left. He missed it, and McPherson will take over with 1:08 to go and all 3 timeouts in this first half, still in a tied game.
That's a big missed field goal for the Pups, and having 1 minute left, all 3 timeouts, and the ability to drive down the field. I mean, Carter Banks at quarterback, Ashton Malm, Isaac Buhler, Paxton Ingalls, Colt Chapman at wide receiver. All those guys are going to be big on this drive, and to put this Bullpups up going into halftime, and then with the ability to go double tip on the other side of this half.
Now, last week when they tried to do so, an interception was thrown, which is only the 2nd thrown interception by Carter Bangton. But now with 1:08 to go, 1st down and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Bangton will roll right, look to throw. He's got Malm, and he makes the catch around the 30 and out of bounds at the 32-yard line. That's that terrific play they like to go to right out of the gate. Just get Malm on the out route, going out of bounds, and that is a gain of 12. 1st and 10 McPherson, and it stops the clock at 1:03.
Not only does it stop the clock, Lane, but it also gets Carter Bankston in rhythm, and that's even more important, in my opinion, is being able to get him into rhythm and making him or allowing him to make throws in rhythm is going to be key to helping him be comfortable on this drive.
He'll look to throw again. Bangton feels the pressure, gets away from it. He's going to run near side at the 35, gets a key block from Malm and out of bounds at the 43-yard line. A run of 11 yards for Bangton. 1st and 10 McPherson.
That's a forgotten part of Ashton Malm's toolbox as a football player. Is everyone thinks about the speed and going up and getting it and the 200-yard games he has receiving, but he also is a good fundamental blocker and is willing to get his nose dirty and just do whatever the team needs. Excellent job by Carter Bankston creating that run, but great job for Ashton Malm.
Clock stops, 57 seconds to go first half. First down and 10 at their own 43. They'll look to throw. It is caught far side across midfield going down to the Buhler 49. Brody Hoffman makes the catch, which is his first of the season for a gain of 8 yards. Timeout called by McPherson, their first of the half, with 49 seconds to go in the first half.
Good fundamental timeout here. We are putting, head coach Chase Pavlovich right now is putting on a clinic for when it comes to clock management, as well as Carter Bankston. Being able to get out and not have to take a timeout until under a minute or under 50 seconds is a beautiful thing.
2-minute drills are what they do to end practice every Thursday. They give themselves certain situations. This will happen, no gains. This will happen, holding call, you got to move them back. And that teaches them resilience as well when a certain situation could come awry, and this is the last thing they do every Thursday in their practice. So it's something that they do time and again, and it's worked out time and again this season.
Yeah, this is it. 2 minutes is almost, I want to see the numbers on it, but 2 minutes is when the Bullpups offense really gets going. When they speed up themselves and just play under control and speed up defenses, that's when they have their most success.
Good example is that comeback win against Rose Hill 3 weeks ago. In the shotgun, 2-by-2, they line up. Millicent in the backfield, he'll look to throw. Deep pass across the middle for Winter. It's just over his head and incomplete. He got it into his right hand for a second, but then just out of his fingertips, he would have made the catch at the 20, but incomplete. Third down and 2.
Yeah, it looks like cover 4 on the backside where the two safeties go down and cover a 2/4 of the field, and then the corners keep going down and cover that deep quarter of the field as well. And the Bullpups try to go up the middle and go in between the two safeties. That time overthrown just a touch.
This is one where you just got to get the first down. They're going to fake the handoff. Quick pass caught by Chapman, who was left alone on the after the huddle, and he pushes forward to the 39. Boy, he was left alone when they broke the huddle. There was nobody there. So what do? Quick pass. Chapman, first down at the 39-yard line of Buhler territory. Clock rolls again. 35 seconds left. McPherson does have 2 timeouts. Bankston looking to throw. Pressure comes. Fires out of the hands of Malman. Incomplete. Yeah, it's incomplete, but it stops the clock.
Yeah, I'm okay with that right there. They had to speed themselves up just a little bit. It only took about 6 seconds off the clock, but what they really needed to do was kind of stop the clock, reset themselves, and continue on. There was a little bit of miscommunication right before that play, but they had Ashton on the whip route there where you fake the slant, go back out. It would have worked to perfection to pick up a few yards as well, but that time the pitch and catch is not the worst thing. The missed pitch and catch is not the worst thing in the world.
30 seconds left in the first half. Second down at the Buhler 39, and he is met up. No, he escapes it. Rolling to his left, Banks, and he's just going to throw it away. Not quite a Eli Manning type of play in the Super Bowl, but still got away from 2 would-be tacklers in the backfield to just keep it alive, stop the clock, throwing it out of bounds. It does make it 3rd and 10.
Yeah, that's really good football by Carter Bankston. I mean, he fought through some would-be sacks, but getting out of the pocket, and then once you get out of the pocket, you slow yourself down and you realize, I don't have a throw here. Just throw it away. Stop the clock again. Keep those timeouts left for you. You still have 24 seconds or 23 and a half seconds left. You're in a good spot here.
I tried to remember the receiver's name, David Tyree, but that's because going into that game, he was kind of a no-name receiver. But back here, they're going to hand it off. Becker cuts to the left side at the 35, met up and pushed forward for an extra yard at the 34. Timeout call by Coach Pav. It's a gain of 5 yards to make it 4th down and 5 with 17 seconds to go in the first half, and they will have it at the Buhler 34.
Great block there by Dylan Hall, the left tackle. And what the Bullpups are trying to do there with the run is they're trying to catch Buhler off guard, and pretty much kind of did a little bit and picked up a good chunk of yards. Now they set up 4th down. 4th down and about 5, and you know you're going to go for it here. Is Jackson Hoover's a good kicker, but he's not this good of a kicker right now.
It's also windy today and very cold.
I would agree with all of those things here, and that when it's cold here, the balls get a little the balls inflation goes down just a little bit.
Yep.
And then you get that Tom Brady inflate gate, but that's a deflate
That's
gate.
more for a rainy day, which is not as rainy as we thought it would be. It did rain a lot this morning, but still not quite as much this afternoon, at least as of yet. We're brought to you by Farmer State Bank, Crop Lumber, Mound Ridge Tractor, Blue Stem Communities, Health Equip, Hospice and Home Care, Reno County, Hutch Regional Med Center, Farm Bureau with Luke Bauer, Scooters Coffee, Inman Funeral Home, Headland Electric, our shirt gear for sports. McPherson gets away from the sideline. 4th down and 5 at the Buhler 34. 17 seconds to go until halftime. Tied game 7 apiece. In the shotgun, 2x2, they line up receivers wise on the left hash. Bankton looking to throw, dumped down, and Becker had to go low for it as it was underthrown, but it's incomplete. Good pressure coming up the middle by Buhler's defense to force an underthrown ball, and it's a turnover on downs. 13 seconds left, though, and just one timeout for Buhler.
Yeah, what the Pups wanted there was just a little bit of a wheel route going out into the flat for Dane Becker, but Carter Bankson just was unable to put enough mustard on it and really hit him in stride. But for the Bullpups now, they just need to get a stop here with 13 and a half seconds left to go, weather this storm, get into halftime tied, and get this offense another chance to put points on the board coming out of halftime.
Well, does Buhler run a drive with 13 seconds left? I mean, a lot can happen in 13 seconds, but with one timeout in the half, maybe just one play, and we'll see. Zachary will hand it off to the fullback. Harmony is met up immediately down to the 36, a gain of 2, and Buhler is just going to let that clock roll, and we are going to reach halftime. You want a defense? You got it. It's a tie game at 7 apiece as we reach halftime. The Great Plains FCU halftime report is coming up right after this. It's a bit of a longer halftime today because of senior night, but we'll send you there right now. You're listening to McPherson High School football from the Midway Motors broadcast booth on KMCP.
Tonight's coverage of Bullpup football continues next with the Great Plains Federal Credit Union halftime report. Coming up, we'll recap tonight's first half and catch you up on other scores around the area. 98.9 and 1540 KMCP.
At McPherson Laundry and Dry Cleaners, we take pride in helping our customers look good, and we're proud to be a part of downtown McPherson with drop-off and pickup services now at A5 Western. We can save you time with our laundry service and offer specialty services as well, including wedding dress cleaning and preservation, bedding, drapes, and blankets. Drop off and pick up from McPherson Laundry and Dry Cleaners at A5 Western in downtown McPherson.
Hello, I'm Gloria Schrader, a proud McPherson parent and grandparent who believes that teamwork is key to reaching our goals. Working in the claims department at Farmers Alliance, I love seeing our company unite to support our policyholders through tough times. Being a part of a team that helps people rebuild their lives is as awesome as a victory in the big game. At Farmers Alliance, we're excited to be part of this amazing community and thrilled to cheer on all our local teams to success.
Life moves pretty fast, but not at Freddy's. When that first bite hits, you can't help but slow down. The secret to quality time is just quality and time. That's Freddy's.
Mom, what's wrong with them? That's called quality time. Don't stare.
Need reliable electrical work? Call Headland Electric in McPherson. We are locally family-owned and committed to providing quality electrical services. Give us a call at 620-241-3757 or visit headlandelectricinc.com.
The Bradbury Company, headquartered in Mound Ridge, is a family-owned custom equipment builder, and they're hiring qualified candidates for manufacturing roles. Apply online at bradburygroup.com. The Bradbury Company, wishing the best of luck to all the teams.
With your halftime update from Ad Astra Sports, I'm Lucky Kid. Substate Volleyball Regional Cross Country on the schedule for this weekend. The McPherson High Bullpups hosting a 4A volleyball substate. Because of the flood-direct roundhouse, they're going to be playing that substate at Canton Galva High School, getting underway at 2 p.m. Elyria Christian will be at the 1A substate in Hanover, along with Central Christian. Suscott and Center are at Lynn. Little River is hosting a 1A Division I substate. Canton, Galva, and Gossa will head to Flint Hills. In 2A, Mound Ridge is hosting a substate, which also includes Hillsboro. Inman will travel to Bennington. Halstead hosting a 3A substate. Heston will be there as well. Ellsworth will head out to Holcomb. In 5A, Salina Central will face Hutchinson at Mays South on Saturday afternoon, while Salina South takes on Hayes at Capon and Mount Carmel. On the cross-country side of things, McPherson will be going to the 4A Regional at Marion. Buhler is hosting a regional at their Prairie Ridge Cross Country Park. Smoky Valley, Halstead, and Heston will be in the Wichita Trinity Academy 3A Regional. Saline and Sterling in the 2A Regional at Ellis. Mound Ridge in the 2A Regional at Marion, along with the host team, Hillsboro, Sacred Heart, and Solomon. All the 1A schools will be at the regional at Prairie Ridge Park. Again, that being hosted by Buhler in Hutchinson. It's Sunflower Showdown weekend in Lawrence as the Kansas Jayhawks host the Kansas State Wildcats Saturday. Our coverage gets underway Saturday morning at 9:30 on 94.7 KSKU. The Chiefs back in action Monday night as they take on the Washington Commanders to pregame at 6 on Mix 96.7 KMPK. Dallas Cowboys head to Denver to face the Broncos in the late game on Sunday afternoon. The KCAC schedule for Saturday, mostly a daytime affair with one night game. That is Sterling at Kansas Wesleyan, 5 p.m. kickoff, pregame at 4:30 on 100.3 KNZS. McPherson College Bulldogs are hosting St. Mary's Saturday afternoon at 1, pregame on KMCP at 12:30. Bethany facing Bethel in North Newton, 12:30 pregame on Smoky Hills Rock 95.5. The rest of the schedule will have Evangel at Avila, Tabor at Ottawa, and in a key game, Prince travels to Southwestern. We'll check the scoreboard when we come back right after this.
More of the Great Plains Federal Credit Union halftime report is coming up after this. Visit GPFCU in Hillsboro or McPherson or online at greatplainsfcu.com. Bullpup football on KMCP.
The Kansas legal team at Pyle Law handles cases in McPherson County and throughout the state of Kansas. Now is the time to call for your free consultation. This is Liz Pyle, and my husband Tom has over 25 years of experience in all matters relating to workers' compensation, car wrecks, and personal injury law. Tom takes the time to evaluate your options, inform you of your rights, and walks you through the complicated process of seeking compensation for your personal injuries or loss. Contact me at 620-241-9000 and I'll schedule your appointment with Tom today.
Let the party begin where the pizza never ends. Come fuel up, raise up a cup, gather up your grub at the hub.
Hey, it's Sammy from the Hub Brick Oven and Brewery, inviting y'all to join us in Mound Ridge. The station, Coffee and Bakery, is open at 7:30 a.m. Monday through Saturday for all your coffee, bakery, and ice cream fixes. Don't forget to try one of our delicious appetizers. Our brick oven is fired up from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Saturday. Come get your grub at the Hub.
On the basketball court, a good offense is the best defense. You can count on Farm Bureau agent Teresa Boken to be your family's point guard and defend you against whatever life throws your way. She's there to handle your auto, home, life, and business insurance needs. Don't wait for the worst to happen when it comes to your insurance. Talk to Farm Bureau agent Teresa Boken in Sterling today and see how she can protect what matters most.
Contact me, Teresa Boken in Sterling at 620-278-2572.
Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Farm Bureau Property and Casualty Insurance Company, Western Agriculture Insurance Company.
No tricks, just treats with MTC Fiber Internet in October. Sign up this spooky season and treat yourself to Fiber Fast Internet. Celebrate 120 years of MTC with 120 days of free fiber internet. Visit mtc4me.com/get fiber now. Call 877-216-9951 or stop by one of our offices in Little River, Lyons, Marquette, McPherson, or Sterling to take advantage of this scary good deal.
Checking our halftime scoreboard, there were some games around the area played last night. In those games, Wichita Trinity beat Nickerson 64-20, Haven over Kingman 34-6, Fairfield beat Stafford 64-16, Argonia Attica over Pretty Prairie 56-6, Little River beat Solomon 72-0, Arkansas City down Newton 40-15, Garden Plain over Clearwater 23-6. One final in from action tonight, Central Christian beating Norwich 56-0. Other scores we have at the end of one, Hutcheye up on May South 7-0. Buhler and McPherson into the second were tied at 7. Sterling up early on Trinity Catholic 7-0. Halstead leading Lions at the end of one 14-7. Hillsboro up on Smoky Valley 14-0 after one. Inman leading Mound Ridge in the second by a score of 8-7. Andale up on Heston 57-0 at the half. Cheating and Pratt tied at 7 in the first. St. John leading Maxville 14-0 early. Southeast's Lynn at the end of one was leading Ellsworth 16-0. Salina Central was leading Goddard at the half 14-7. First quarter, Mays leads Salina South 22-0. And then some games of interest in 4A. Wamego leads Abilene at the end of one 6-0. Andover and Andover Central in the third quarter are tied at 14. And Independence is leading Rose Hill 6-3 at the end of the first quarter. Stay with us. We'll have further updates on games in progress throughout the evening here on the Ad Astra Radio scoreboard. We'll be back to your game right after this. I'm Lucky Kid.
Start your home remodel at The Finish Flooring Interiors. From stunning Mohawk flooring to Kansas-made onyx or custom cabinetry, we've got the style and quality you need and the professionals to put it together. Find us at Euclid and Main in McPherson, because every great home starts with The Finish. McPherson Center for Health is one of just 8 in Kansas and the only one within 60 miles to earn a 5-star rating from CMS, placing us among the best in the nation. Thank you for trusting us to care for you and your family.
At Mid-Kansas Credit Union, we live by our motto, grounded in the past, growing for the future. We are a full-service credit union with offices in Mound Ridge and Buhler. Mid-Kansas Credit Union would like to wish all the athletes the best of luck as they compete this season.
Are you tired of your dusty or muddy driveway? APAC Kansas Shears Division is here to help. This is Derek Fees. Call us and ask us about our asphalt millings. If you are a do-it-yourselfer, arrange for pickup or delivery at your convenience. Call APAC today at 620-662-2112.
Hi, I am Josh French, owner of Tallgrass Turf Solutions here in McPherson. We're here for all of your turf management and lawn care needs. We offer many services including fertilization, weed control, disease control, and prevention, aeration, lawn repair and maintenance, and much more. Plus, we can install new lawns and irrigation systems. Find us online at tallgrassturfsolutions.com. Tallgrass Turf Solutions here in McPherson. We build gorgeous, self-sustaining lawns.
Experience the best in customer service when you call Alliance Agency Inc. for a Buckeye Insurance Group personal insurance quote. Alliance Agency Inc. can provide insurance coverage to meet your family's needs. Protect your financial future by calling Alliance Agency Inc. at 620-241-0213. Buckeye Insurance Group and Alliance Agency Inc. working together to protect you.
Bullpup football on KMCP.
Welcome back to McPherson Stadium as we continue the Great Plains FCU halftime report. It is at halftime, and it's a tied game between McPherson and Buhler, 7 apiece. Both scoring drives came in the first quarter. McPherson's on their very first, but that was after they recovered a fumble at the Buhler 23-yard line on Buhler's just second play from scrimmage. And it ended off on 4th down and goal at the 1 with a 1-yard touchdown run by Dane Becker. No score since then. Going to punt, but they instead went with a fake punt, so it turns into a turnover on downs. Punt, and then 2-minute drill where they tried to drive down the field, and they did all the way to the Buhler 34, but on 4th and 5, unable to convert to make it a turnover on downs. That was just with 13 seconds left in the half, though, so it kept it a tied game. Buhler, of course, fumbling on their first drive in just their second play. And then the very next drive, Landon Martinez gets a deep kick return, takes it down all the way to the McPherson 40. And they drive down the field in a little over 3.5 minutes, capped off by a 10-yard touchdown run by their starting tight end, Jacob Miller, to make it 7-all. But then since then, punt, missed field goal, and end of the first half. So this is a McPherson defense that was down 35-24. At halftime, this time last week. This defense has really stepped it up against a good Buhler team in this first half.
Yeah, they really have. They've stopped the run really well. I mean, this Buhler offense they've only gotten 107 yards unofficially by my count, and only 72 through on the ground. I mean, they've done an excellent job of kind of stopping the run up until. Outside of a few big runs by Ben Klaus and Jacob Miller, I mean, this team its defense has done a really nice job both in the passing game and in the rushing game.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about, during halftime, during that whole halftime update that, we kind of expected Ben Klaus to have a little bit of a higher rushing number than he has now, but McPherson has really done a good job containing him.
Yeah, I mean, I've only got him here for 8 or 10 carries, 24 yards. I mean, they've done a nice job containing him outside of a 6-yard run. They've held him to 5 yards or less every rush they've had. That's kind of the key to success for defending this Buhler offense.
The 10 carries is, nothing new. Klaus gets the ball a lot. I mean, heck, coming into today, he averages 18 carries per game. So, but still, 144 yards per game and 8 yards a carry. He's down to 2.4 today, but the guy that's done a good job rushing has been Asher Zachary and Jacob Miller. So a couple of surprise guys for Buhler, but I mean it's worked out for them a few times, especially Jacob Miller getting that rushing touchdown, and that was his first rushing touchdown of the season actually.
Well, yeah, Jacob Miller here, he's got 3 carries. I mean, he came into the game on the season 5 rushes, 42 yards, and no touchdowns. He's got 3 carries today for 31 yards by my count and a touchdown. So he's really having a season-like game.
And then what about McPherson offensively?
I mean, they still got 119 total yards. I mean, they've thrown the ball excellently, 65 right now through the air. But Ashton Malm, 2 catches, 33 yards. I know we're kind of looking at the 1,000-yard mark there for him as well, and he's only about
he's 24 yards away from it now.
I was going to say, but they've also completed passes to 5 other wide receivers today, which is big for this Bullpups offense. But on the ground, they've really been led by Dane Becker. I mean, he's got 8 carries, 44 yards, only 54 yards rushing for the Pups here tonight. But again, Dane Becker, and right now Carter Bankston with 11 yards on the ground too. He's been really good on the ground for the Pups offense.
I mean, I feel like part of that is to be expected with a terrific front line that Buhler has on both offense and defense, but especially on the defensive front. I mean, this is a defense that, calls himself the Black Knight defense. And, the difference between this defense and last year's, there's only 2 returning starters. This is still kind of a young Buhler team, with still a terrific record because the playmakers that they have. The front line has still been, pretty good, and I mean, it really worked out today. I mean, they've sacked Carter a couple of times already, and only limited McPherson to about 50 rushing yards in the first half, and they average 175 a game.
The thing is, Lane, is if I had access to the film right now and could watch, I would marvel right now at what this Buhler defensive line is doing and this offensive line of McPherson is doing and what they're doing every play, because they are going hat to hat. They are going at each other right now, and they're doing it almost to perfection. And it would be a work of art right now if I were able to watch just kind of that all 22 film and just watch these two units go at each other.
Yeah, for sure. Well, those are some of the first half numbers. I also have down Buhler with about 13 minutes time of possession in the first half, and McPherson about 11. So it's almost even, but Buhler has more time of possession with one more drive, or actually one more drive than McPherson in this game. Buhler had 6 drives in the first half, McPherson with 5, but McPherson does get the ball to start off the second half. And before we go to a quick timeout, just want to talk about the beginning of the second half and how key is that first drive coming back out onto this turf at McPherson Stadium. How key is that going to be?
Well, if we're talking about the rest of the game, it's the biggest drive of the game. I mean, for me at least. Obviously, every next drive is the biggest drive of the game, but trying to get the Bullpups out in rhythm and really put the Crusaders defense kind of on their heels would be a big spot for the Pups and head coach Jace Pavlovich. Right now, both units are playing really, really well and offensively and defensively, and really for Buhler as well. These have been 2 very even teams through the stat sheets and through just about everything.
Well, it's a bit of a longer halftime today because it is senior night in McPherson. They did the football players before the game. Now they're doing tennis, I believe boys soccer, I could be wrong there, and then also girls golf, who both tennis and golf wrapped up state this past weekend. Tennis finished as runners-up, and girls golf finished 3rd in the state. And then they're also doing band, high steppers, and cheerleaders. So still a few minutes before kickoff of the second half, but we'll step aside for a moment, and we will take a short break, and we will return for more coming up in the Great Plains FCU halftime report. We'll take a 60-second break. We'll be back in a moment. You're listening to coverage of McPherson High School football from the Midway Motors broadcast booth on KMCP.
You're listening to the Great Plains Federal Credit Union Halftime Report. Tonight's second half kickoff is coming up next. Stream Bullpup football on your phone or tablet with the Ad Astra Radio app. Your home for the McPherson Bullpups is 98.9 and 1540 KMCP.
Hi, I'm Andrew Ealing. I'm excited to tell you about the Poo Squad of Hutchinson. Are you tired of the unpleasant task of picking up dog poop? I can help. We offer a one-time or weekly service for your convenience. Our pricing is affordable and varies based on the number of dogs. For 1 dog per week, it's only $12 or $52 a month. You can easily book online at hutch.thepoosquad.com or call or text at 620-322-0522. We take a lot of crap from our customers. Contact the Pooh Squad of Hutchinson today.
Hi, this is Lucas Raleigh with Raleigh Insurance. If you're thinking about shopping your business's insurance, let us do the shopping for you with our newly expanded markets and carriers. As an independent agency, we've been working with large commercial accounts to small family businesses across Kansas for over 50 years. Check out RaleighInsurance.biz, see me in Little River, or stop by Raleigh Insurance in Inman or Lyons today.
Since 1965, your choice for home, auto, farm, and commercial insurance. Raleigh Insurance. Get your free quote today.
Bullpup football on KMCP.
Welcome back to McPherson Stadium. Tied game 7 apiece at halftime. Still a longer halftime because of senior night here in McPherson. But this is the final regular season game for McPherson here this year. They're 4-3 on the year. They're looking to become 5-3 to close things off. This is big when it comes to postseason standings. But we'll first talk about league play. McPherson comes in 2-2 in league play. The thing is, if they lose today, this would be the first time under Coach Pav that they would have a losing record against league opponents, but this is probably as strong of a league for the most part that we've seen in quite some time, especially Augusta. I mean, yeah, they defeated McPherson after being a one-win team, but they came out hot, and yesterday they played their final game of the regular season yesterday. They moved it up due to potential severe weather today. And they beat Circle 47-6. So Augusta's coming in hot. They're going to the postseason hot, especially with a 2-game win streak. And that was the 2 wins before coming to McPherson is all the wins that head coach for Augusta, David Elliott, had in his 1+ year there. And now he ends this regular season 3-5. And right now, Augusta's listed as the 11th seed. There may be some shifts and some movement before this closes off. But right now, they're the 11th seed, which means they would face Abilene if the season were to end today. Abilene's currently playing against Independence, but if the season were to end today, they play Abilene, and what a rematch that would be, because Augusta lost 3-0 to Abilene, but because of this Augusta team that we've seen now, probably would be a different story, and that's no slight to Abilene. But this Augusta team, I mean, they're hot going into the postseason, and a lot of times when it comes to survive and advance, it's not quite what you do in the regular season. It's how hot can you get in the postseason.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a battle of really who wants to continue playing, and if you get hot, the right time to do it is at the end. You don't want to peak too early, and if you do that and you're on the downslope, you tend to sputter out in the playoffs. But, man, when it comes to postseason football, anybody can beat anybody, especially any given Friday.
McPherson comes into today as the 9 seed, and what that means is they would be on the road for the first round of playoffs because the top 8 teams, because there are 16 teams, the top seeded team hosts each game. So McPherson would be the 9 seed, which they would face Andover Central, but we got a final. Andover did defeat Andover Central 28-14. Andover Central ends their regular season 4-4. These are the defending state champs, by the way, Andover Central, but they lost a lot of key guys from last year. But think about this. McPherson wins, then, yeah, they're going to host the first round. Another thing to kind of think about, though, which because of the point difference system that Keisha has, McPherson could still technically lose and still host the first round, but automatically they'd have to lose by 9 points or less against Buhler tonight to host Andover Central. But what McPherson wants to do is win, because honestly, even if they win, and let's say Rose Hill wins tonight, there could be the slim possibility of them even getting the 7 seed. That possibility is still there. So a lot of different cogs in the wheel for postseason scenarios. I had to do that, Zach Galifianakis gif from The Hangover where he has all the numbers flying around his head from when they're in the casino in Vegas. But that's kind of how I felt when I was putting all these scenarios down this week. And there's quite a lot of them, but that's kind of where it stands now because Andover Central did lose. And lost by 14, and because of the Keisha system, that actually goes down to 13 in their average because it's plus minus no bigger than 13 and no less than minus 13. But McPherson could lose by 9 points at most and still host next week. Obviously, they want to win, but that's just something to keep your mind on.
So let me ask you this question here.
Okay.
Obviously, you are the resident statistician here.
Doubtful, but okay.
When it comes to the 4A West standings, are you telling me that there's a chance that with a big Rose Hill loss, I mean a big loss, and McPherson wins, they could jump up to the 7th seed, and if Independence loses, Augusta would jump up to the 10th seed, and McPherson would host Augusta?
There is that possibility. That is correct. Now, here's the thing.
That's a lot of
Here's the
ifs.
thing. Here's the thing. Rose Hill is playing Independence right now. And last we saw, Rose Hill's only up 16-6 over Independence. And this Bulldog team for Independence, 3-4 this year. They've had a pretty good season. I mean, they've had some times, time and again in their recent history where they've really struggled. 3-5 this year, or 3-4 this year is pretty good. Now we'll see how this game ends between them and Rose Hill, but something to keep an eye on. But yeah, that honestly is a possibility.
What happens if they tie?
There is a separate tiebreaker that I forget what it is. It first comes down to head-to-head, which McPherson does not have for Andover Central or Independence. They do have for Rose Hill. They do have that edge over Rose Hill should it come to that. But
all I'm saying is I like chaos. And anything to create more chaos is incredible.
There's 2 months in high school that really brings the most chaos: October and March. It truly does. Especially, I mean, we saw it for basketball last year, but still, I mean, football chaos is definitely there, which also helps by having a 8-game regular season. So, it's kind of a short regular season by some standards. Now, at the college level is 12, but still, that's something to think about. When you have 8 games in a regular season, sometimes it can be easier to figure this out, but that also brings in a lot more ties because of 16-team regions. So there's a lot of tiebreakers, and a lot of it eventually comes down to a coin flip. That's the very last one that comes into play in any scenario. If they tie for every single thing, I think past the head-to-head, it is overall point differential. They have the system on their website, plus-minus 13, which is mostly because of teams that they could or could not play against. But I think after the head-to-head comes the overall point difference this season, which McPherson, doing the math, on average would be minus 2.7. So they average 28.3 points per game. They give up 31 points a game. So something to keep an eye on, but the second half's about to begin. So we spent so much time talking about potential scenarios that, hey, we got a ball game that's coming up and the clock running down on halftime. McPherson will have the ball to start off this second half. Tie game at 7 as we head into quarter number 3. When these two teams met last year, Buhler got the better of McPherson, 28-21. McPherson had a chance to possibly drive down to tie, and they came up just short. This go around at halftime, it's tied. What's going to give? Who's going to win in this bitter rivalry and a big game for both of these teams? Buhler will kick it from right to left. It's another squib kick that will bounce and will be bobbled a little bit, then picked up at about the 25, but then going no further, actually down to the 24. Brody Millison was the one that picked it up. They practiced that a little bit yesterday, but sometimes you can't really prepare much for a wacky football, but McPherson will take over at their own 24-yard line to start off this second half.
Yeah, this is a big drive here for the Bullpups, and really for Carter Bankston. I mean, he's been really good. He's completed passes to 6 different wide receivers here tonight, and getting everybody kind of that everybody's got to eat mentality and getting everybody involved. But Dane Becker is kind of going to be the horse for the rest of this game, and I'd look for this offensive line to really get a good push as this game continues on.
Well, they are in the pistol, and Becker is, or now they move to a shotgun, but Becker is the tailback. Bankton will hand it off. Becker finds a lane left side, lowers the head at the 29, gets pushed forward at the 30, so a 6-yard gain on first down on the first play of the second half from Dane Becker.
Yeah, that's one of those plays where head coach Chase Pavlovich is going to come up here and talk about we have to be able to run the football in boxes that we get 5 guys, 6 guys, or less when we have the advantage. And that time they had the advantage with only 1 linebacker. Excellent job by Dane Becker.
They're going to look to throw on 2nd and 4. Quick pass caught by Chapman, who gets met up immediately, but will be just a yard shy of the 6 and bring up 3rd down and 1. Just the 3rd catch made by Colt Chapman this year. He's up to about 9 yards all season, but 3rd down and 1 coming up for McPherson.
Yeah, an excellent job there by the defender, actually, by Dylan Skripczyk. And coming up in from his cover 2, he has that little hook flat pattern in for his zone, and he came up and laid a hit on Colt Chapman and just didn't allow Colt Chapman to pick up that 1st down. Excellent job by Skripczyk.
3rd down and 1 at their own 33, just a little over a minute into the second half. They break the huddle with 8 on the play clock. Bankton is in the pistol. Becker is the tailback. They will fake the handoff. Quick pass, but it's underthrown and incomplete, intended for Puhala on an out route. They did have Ingle streaking down the sideline, and he was wide open, but the design play was to Puhala. It's underthrown to make it 4th down and 1. McPherson's offense stays on the field.
Yeah, this is a no-brainer for me. 4th down and 1, you're going to go for this, but I'd look for them to run that same play and fake it on the outside here.
In the pistol, Becker is the tailback. 1 receiver wide to the left, that's Malm. 2 to the right. Now, actually, Bankton backs up. This is going to be that fake punt play that they have. Bankton takes the snap and will punt it away with nobody back deep to return for Buhler. It will take a McPherson bounce to the 35, 34, 33, 32 is where it comes to rest, and Buhler will take over for the first time in this first half with 10:29 to go in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, Bankston, not the normal punter, just kind of flipped it end over end and didn't get quite the same bounce that you'd normally want to get. It only went about 5-6 extra yards, but that's a special teams play that Tom Brady and the Patriots kind of made famous there for a while. I know Big Ben's kind of run that, but the Bullpups are just trying to catch somebody off guard.
So Buhler takes over at their own 32-yard line for their first drive on offense. In this second half, in the I formation, Zachary takes a snap, handoff. Klaus gets away from 1 man, looking for the far edge. Got met up high by Hall, then brought down low by Keaton Crane. A short gain just past the far numbers, just a yard for Ben Klaus on 1st down.
Yeah, the Crusaders on offense just have not had success running to the outside like I would have envisioned them having. These corners for the Bullpups and Keaton Crane, Dane Becker, Brody Hoffman have all done a really nice job coming up and laying the boom on the running backs.
2nd down and 9 for Buhler. They will hand it off again. Klaus finds a lane left side. Chapman will bring him down, but it's a 1st down. Spun down at the 45-yard line. And it will be a 1st down as they give him to the 46, actually, but move those chains for Buhler, rather.
Yeah, that's an excellent job, just running right off the left guard, in between the left guard and left tackle, and finding open space, getting to that 2nd level, and just fighting through contact to pick up 12 yards.
1st and 10 at their own 46-yard line for Buhler. In the I formation, 1 receiver wide on each side, handoff. Klaus, near side, met immediately by Millison. 1 tailback brings down another. It is a gain of 3 yards right out of the gate, but a good job by Millison to bring him down for that gain of just 3.
Yeah, an excellent job by Brody Millison coming up from that right middle linebacker position and just flowing uphill and stopping Ben Klaus kind of in his tracks.
9:12 to go, 3rd quarter. Buhler with the ball, tie game at 7. They have 2nd down and 7 at their own 49. In the I formation, this time just 1 receiver. He's wide to the right. Zachary takes the snap, fake handoff to the fullback, gives it to Klaus on the tailback. Piercy gets him, and then Klaus escapes, but he's down in the backfield. If he didn't escape, it possibly could have been forward progress for a gain of 1. Instead, he escaped. More Bullpups came in, and it's a loss of 4 to make it 3rd and 11.
When we talk about setting the edge, or you hear a lot about setting the edge lane, that is exactly what you want to see. Nolan Piercy got in the way and forced Ben Klaus to make a decision either to go around him where every other defender is or cut it back upfield where there's even more defenders. What an excellent job by Nolan Piercy.
3rd down and 11. Trips to the left, 1 receiver right. Zachary looks to throw. Looking, escapes, now fires. It is incomplete, way behind the intended man, Ben Klaus. And McPherson forces them to punt. That makes it 4th down and 11.
Bo Barkley that time, man, what a rush by Bo Barkley. Comes into the season 32 tackles. Last week had a sack. He's got 3 sacks on the year. Has a sack today as well, so 4 sacks on the year. What an excellent play by Bo Barkley to really speed up Asher Zachary.
McConaughey into punt. Ashton Malm back deep to return. McConaughey gets the punt away high into the air. It will bounce at the 20 and take a Buhler bounce at the 5, 4, 3, 2. They try to dive it at the 1, but I think it crossed the goal line. It did. It's a touchback, and McPherson will have it at their own 20. Boy, did they get bailed out.
Yeah, that's just spatial awareness there. The gunner, it was an excellent punt. It was almost a knuckleball punt. It really just kind of floated in the air for a while. Got a really nice Buhler bounce, but the gunner just was unable to pick it up right in time. It almost bounced away from him, and the gunner had to dive and just, with kind of the wet turf from the rain this morning, it's not gonna go your way. And that is the special team segment of the week.
Every week there's always one, and I forget about it until you remind me. Every week. 8:09 to go, third quarter. McPherson with the ball, 1st and 10 at their own 20. Tie game, 7 apiece. McPherson and Buhler here on senior night for the Bullpups at McPherson Stadium. In the shotgun, trips to the right for Bankton. It's going to be an option play. Bankton's going to keep after seeing the blockers ahead of him. Steps back at the 25. Got hit and then pushed forward to the 26-yard line. 6-yard gain for CB.
Isaac Puhala there, man. He made an excellent tackle. He's had a few drops this season, made a few catches in the biggest spots. He's played a really good wide receiver position for this Bullpups offense, but that time he put his nose into the play, was gritty with it, and just made the perfect block to set up that run for Carter Bankston.
2nd down and 4 on the right hash, trips to the left. One receiver wide right, that's Malm. Bankton looking to throw, high pass, way too far, intended for Malm. Malm was streaking up the middle at the 50, but the ball hit the turf at the 44. 3rd down and about 4 yards coming up for McPherson.
Yeah, Carter Bankston thought that Ashton Malm was going to take an outside release and go on the outside part of the cornerback and run that little fly pattern. But that time he took an inside release and went off the inside shoulder of the cornerback, Landon Martinez, and just slight miscommunication on the route, slight miscommunication on the throw, and it falls innocently to the ground.
Speed versus speed, by the way. 7:29 to go, third quarter. 3rd down and 4 from McPherson. Tailback in motion, 2 receivers each side. Flag comes in before the play, and McPherson moved first. A false start. This is the second penalty this entire game. The first on McPherson. The other penalty was on a special teams play by Buhler, but it's a false start to push it back to 3rd and 9.
Yeah, that's one of those plays where Buhler's going to bring their cover 0 or they're going to bring everybody and just go man on the outside. And really that becomes a numbers game. You get seven guys coming on a blitz or coming downhill and only 6 guys in the backfield. But that time they took Dane Becker and threw him out. So you only are 5 on 7. Got to get rid of the ball quick. I'm okay with the penalty there.
3rd and 9 at their own 21. 2 receivers far side. Becker in motion. Bankton looking to throw. Steps up into the pocket, finds an opening, but fires on the run for Becker. It is 1-on-1, and it hits the turf, incomplete. Boy, that was such a close play. Landon Martinez there defensively. Becker was not able to haul it in. 4th down and 9, and the punting unit will come onto the field.
Yeah, going to have to bring Jackson Hoover out there, but an excellent shot by Bankston. Step up into the pocket. He tried to fit that into a tight window. An excellent coverage there by Martinez, and just almost was able to come away with the catch with Dane Becker after he almost boxed him out like in basketball, but just unable to do it, and now you got to punt the football away.
Hoover into punt, 2 back deep to return. That's Martinez and Miller. Hoover gets the high side-over-side punt. Martinez will get it at the 45 and return to the right, stop-and-go move. Gets a block at midfield. Martinez far side at the 40, at the 35, and tackled at the 30-yard line. And Buhler will have good field position to start off this possession.
Yeah, this is excellent field position for the Crusaders. I mean, they, as a power run football team, it's going to be tougher to stop them when they get closer and closer to the end zone, just because there's not as much space anymore. And that's what the Crusaders want is just for you to feel packed in and just run the football right at you.
1st and 10 for Buhler. They're at the McPherson 30 to start off this drive. Could this be another touchdown drive that started off with a terrific Return from Martinez. He'll get it on an end around and gets wrapped up by his ankles, trying to drive for extra yardage, but down back to the line of scrimmage. Brody Millicent again, the tailback on offense, and the young sophomore with a terrific defensive play. No gain on that play.
An excellent job reading that play. I mean, that's good eye discipline by Brody Millicent, is understanding who's in motion, what can happen, and just staying put, reading, reacting to where the football's at, and not working downhill too fast.
Tie game 7 apiece here in this third quarter. 2nd down and 10 for Buhler. They're in the shotgun this time. Klaus is the tailback to the right hip pocket. They're on the left hash. High snap over the head. It's Miller, actually. He picks it up at the 45, looking for help. One-on-one against Chapman. Chapman and another Bullpup brings him down all the way back to the 46. Wow, what a play, and it's a loss of 16 yards for Buhler, and it'll be 3rd down and long coming up for the Crusaders. Back at the 47, it's a 17-yard loss.
That's just not something that's ideal, especially when your quarterback's not in the game. You go that wildcat play, and that's always something that can happen when you switch quarterbacks midway through is the snaps can kind of get off, and loss of 17, and that's a big stop for the Bullpups.
3rd down and 27. Zachary back in the shotgun, trips to the right, one receiver left. They'll look to throw. Zachary feels the pressure, and down he goes in the backfield. It's Dylan Hall with the QB sack. Back in McPherson territory. A loss of 4. 4th down and 31 coming up for Buhler. They'll punt it away.
What a possession there for the Bullpups defense. Obviously, the snap, the errant snap helps, but what pressure did the Bullpups bring there? They brought Jaron Stutzman. He broke through a double team and really forced the quarterback Zachary to step up into the pocket. Dylan Hall came across and just was able to lay the boom on him and clean him up. What an excellent job by the pass rush.
Malm back deep to return. Punt is high in the air, near side. Malm on the run will let it go as it bounces at the 5, side over side 3. It hits the official and into the end zone, and it's a touchback because of it. It's incidental if it hits the official, and oh boy, they got bailed out again. Thanks to the zebra.
All I will say, Lane, is that the officials are part of the field.
Indeed, yes.
And that has always been that way, and an excellent job there by the field to bring it into the end zone for the touchback. And Bullpups now, this is where you want to be at for the Pups. I mean, you're playing really well on defense. You haven't gotten anything going on the offensive side. Go trust this offensive line. Go trust your quarterback, and just go make a few plays, get the ball out in space, and pick up 1, 2, 3 first downs and give your defense a little bit of a break.
McPherson has punted twice so far in this half, 10 yards total. On first down, play action. Bankson steps up high into the air. He's got Hoffman, and he bobbles, and he makes the catch on the run. 35-30, 25-20. See you later. Touchdown, McPherson. 80 yards to the house. It's Brody Hoffman with his first touchdown as a Bullpup, and the Bullpups take the lead with 4:35 to go in the third.
Just a simple post play. Go fly. Just go run past your defender. Carter Bankston said, you know what, I'm going to take this shot and give it up to Brody Hoffman, the 5'11", 150-pound sophomore wide receiver. And we talked about that David Tyree helmet catch earlier. That was a little bit off the helmet, up into the air, and Brody Hoffman never stopped running.
That was the miracle at Jordan-Hare in 2013 when they played Georgia. Jackson Hoover in for the PAT. Kick is up, and it is good. And the McPherson Stadium is alive. 14-7 Bullpups. 4:35 to go, third quarter. We're back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Bullpup Football from the Midway Motors broadcast booth on KMCP.
The new Ranke E3 uses high-strength steel because it's tried and true. Why mess with perfection? The industry's highest strength-to-weight ratio is used in all Ranke systems. At Ranke, you can take your pick from a range of materials to fend off corrosion and cater to your specific needs. Contact your local Ranke dealer, Bullseye Irrigation of Inman, today. Ranke uses common sense just like you do. Discover common sense. Discover the new E3. Bullseye Irrigation of Inman is your Ranke dealer. Ranke, more right than rain.
98.9 and 1540 KMCP.
In 2 quarters where we've seen a lot of defense, finally something prevails and McPherson takes the lead over Buhler 14-7, 4:35 to go, third quarter. An 80-yard touchdown pass to Brody Hoffman, his first touchdown as a Bullpup varsity player, the sophomore who did not catch a pass coming into this game has 2, and then the 80-yard touchdown on that streak pattern, and the Bullpups finally take the lead.
Yeah, Lane, I'm going to steal what you said over break there. And Bankston had missed on a few of those, and you knew they were going to try to take those shots, and you knew eventually Bankston was going to hit on one. You really thought it was going to be Ashton Malm, but no, it's Brody Hoffman today getting the big-time 80-yard touchdown reception.
Who would have thunk? Out of all people, Brody Hoffman, but hey, what a job. Jackson Hoover is going to squib it for the ensuing PAT. I think there's some conditions. The ball is out on the ground. I think Buhler got it at the 29. Oh, boy, that almost could have been another special teams miscue. But, yep, the rain is falling here, or it's more so of mist, so they didn't go with the deep kick, especially with the wind. Also with Landon Martinez having a good day returning. But 1st and 10 at their own 28 for Buhler.
Yeah, my guess there is it's just more to keep the football away from Landon Martinez. But for Buhler right now, this is where you have to go answer. And for the Pups, you just need to continue what you were doing on that last drive, continue creating pressure, but don't get out of your assignments.
In the I formation is Zachary, 4:31 to go in the third quarter. Fake 2 handoff. Zachary keeps looking for the near side edge. He gets a decent gain, spun down at the 36-yard line. That's a gain of 8 yards on 1st down.
Excellent job. Excellent driver play call there for the Crusaders offense as you really faked both the handoffs there, and you thought the Bups were gonna fall for one of them or both of them, and they did, and they had open space to run. But an excellent job by Dane Becker and a nice job by Busker to stop him after just an 8-yard pickup.
2nd down and 2 yards for Buhler after that 8-yard run by the quarterback. It's Jacob Miller back in to take the pass out of the shotgun. It was a high snap last time. It's there again, but he got it at about the face mask level. Looking for a hole right side, gets one for a 1st down. Met up by a pack of Pups. Forward progress will finally stop the play at the 43, but that is a gain of about 6 yards or 7 to move the chains for a 1st down.
Yeah, again, that Wildcat just quarterback power with Jacob Miller sending is a great play for the Crusaders, and they're going to continue to run that as the night goes on. And he's already got 5 carries. I've got him at 21 yards and a touchdown, so he's had a nice game here so far. One of those carries was him falling on the fumble, I will say.
Mm-hmm. That touchdown was his first rushing touchdown of the season. 1st down and 10 at their own 43. Play clock down to 8. Same formation. Miller will take the snap, and he's going to run it again, looking for the near side. Now cuts back upfield. Gets a good gain across midfield, and finally brought down from behind by Dylan Hall at the 49 for an 8-yard run. And, boy, are they using Jacob Miller in this possession.
Well, one of the things that we haven't talked about, Jacob Miller, that was good vision there. He realized where the Pups were going to try to go and to fill run lanes, and he cut it back up through the middle and picked up another chunk of yards.
2nd down and 2. Less than 3 minutes to go in this third quarter. Miller in the shotgun. Now a man in motion left to right. And Miller will take the snap, run to the right, now back left. And he gets met up at the line of scrimmage, trying to stretch forward, but he will not. Maybe a loss of, nope, just no gain on the play. 3rd down and 2. McPherson on that play finally said, hey, Jacob, I had enough. You're not getting past us. So no gain makes it 3rd down and 2.
Yeah, an excellent job there by Jaron Stutzman. He came through and forced Jacob Miller to cut back up to the field, and that's where Carter Leathers, Asher Allen was waiting for him with open arms and said, you know what, you're not going past this line of scrimmage.
Asher Zachary back in as they're in the I formation. Klaus is the tailback, 1 receiver wide on each side. Harmony is the fullback. 3rd down and 2 at the McPherson 49. Zachary takes the snap, hands it off. Klaus, like a bat out of heck, rushes forward, drives, but he may be short of the sticks, or will he? One official says yes, another says no. And who are they going to give it to? They will give it to Buhler, just enough for a 1st down.
That's a good spot there for the Crusaders as Carter Melton came up to make the tackle, but Ben Klaus with that small center of gravity just fell forward and was able to pick up that extra half a yard.
They needed 2. They got all of it and maybe an extra inch. So 1st down and 10 at the McPherson 47. 100 seconds to go, third quarter. McPherson leads 14-7 over Buhler. Jacob Miller comes back in, but he's going to be a tight end as Zachary's in the shotgun. Klaus the tailback on the left hip pocket. Play clock down to 5. Miller in motion left to right. High snap, but collected and handed off to Klaus near side and gets brought down low for a short gain of about 3 yards. And Carter Melton was the one to get that short gain to be just 3 yards. 2nd down and 7 coming up for Buhler.
I don't have tackle counts, but Carter Melton's been in on seemingly everything. He's had an excellent game here tonight as the sophomore linebacker.
Indeed, he's had to step up in a big role this year as the linebacker core has been kind of thin as we've gone through the season. But, man, has he stepped up. 2nd down and 7 for Buhler in the I formation. Klaus the tailback. Zachary fakes the handoff. He's going to look to throw. Looking to his right. Hall puck comes in. He throws it across the middle. It's caught. Flag comes in from the secondary. Brought down across the 39, but a flag is down. It was thrown from the near side official near the secondary, but threw it towards the backfield. This may be offensive holding.
I am curious to see where they go with this. As there's a couple of different things. It's going to be holding on the offense here. So 10 yards from the previous spot.
This has been a well-disciplined game. Only the 3rd penalty called on either team. The 2nd on Buhler. McPherson with 1, but 10-yard penalty from the spot. So it is near the previous spot. So it's 2nd down and about 17 yards. Yep, 2nd and 17. Clock runs, 40 seconds to go, 3rd quarter. Buhler with the ball down by 7. In the shotgun is Zachary, trips to the left, 1 receiver wide to the right. Zachary rolls to his left. He's going to look to throw. Here comes pressure off the edge, and he is hit by Hall. He tries to stretch forward for yardage. It will be a gain, but a short one. He gets pushed forward by his O-line, but it's a gain of 2 yards for Buhler, and it will be 3rd down and about 15. Braxton Burgess on the sideline motions to the student section, says, hey, get loud. It's 3rd down and 15. Buhler may run this to the end of the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, what a play there by the entire defensive line. They have stepped up and done an excellent job here within this pass rush.
They will run it to the end of the 3rd quarter. Hold your 4 fingers high, folks. We got a ball game at McPherson Stadium. At the end of 3, McPherson 14, Buhler 7. Buhler will have 3rd down and 15 coming up after this 30-second break. You're listening to McPherson High School football from the Midway Motors broadcast booth on KMCP.
Locally owned and rooted in agriculture, Terra Financial Crop Insurance knows farming. With hands-on experience, they're invested in protecting your fields and future. Call Ryan Buznitz in Mound Ridge and McPherson today. Terra Financial, growing security, one field at a time.
For more than 90 years, Hutchinson Community College has been the premier 2-year educational institution in Kansas, offering the highest quality education at an exceptional value. Schedule a personal campus tour today. Visit hutchcc.edu/campus tour.
98.9 and 1540 KMCP.
Coverage of McPherson High School football brought to you by McPherson College. You bring the dream, we'll build a team. Success is a team effort. Begin building yours at McPherson College. It's a great day to be a Bulldog.
Go Dogs!
3rd down and 15 for Buhler as we start off the 4th quarter. McPherson 14, Buhler 7 on senior night and the regular season finale. Buhler will have it at their own 48 in the shotgun, trips to the right. Zachary looking to his right, looking to throw, fakes once. Now he's going to fire it, chuck it high and deep, but it is incomplete near the pass sideline. Almost caught by Braxton Burgess on the sideline, who's the center offensively, but still incomplete. 4th down and 15, Buhler will punt.
There's a reason why Braxton Burgess plays the offensive line after watching that. What an excellent job, though. The Bullpups did a little bit of a stunt, a defensive tackle, defensive end stunt, where Jaron Stutzman and Dylan Hall just run right next to each other and then kind of cross as they go on the pass rush. And Dylan Hall was able to force the errant pass. What an excellent job out of the defensive tackle.
McConaughey takes a snap and punts it away. Dane Becker back deep to return, but he'll call fair catch and make the catch while going on 2 knees at the 25. But McPherson will take over at their own 25, 11:49 to go in the ball game. McPherson 14, Buhler 7. Before this drive starts, brought to you by Next Tech Wireless. Stream today's broadcast with the Ad Astra Radio app, powered by Next Tech Wireless. Find the latest phones and devices at the best prices.
Lane, I wouldn't be shocked here if they'd take another shot. If they try to take another couple of shots here and really make this a 2-possession game and be as quick as possible on this one.
They're up 14-7 already. In their last drive, it was a 1-play, 80-yard touchdown. Carter Bankson to Brody Hoffman. High snap, fake handoff. Bankson will keep it running up the middle. Got hit at the line, then spun down for a gain of a couple. Gain of 3 yards is what they'll mark it to the quarterback. This is the point where guys are going to have to step up. Not necessarily just because of the game, but also the conditions. It's a bit misty. It's cold. Every little bit of contact's going to hurt. But how about the quarterback just taking it himself for a gain of 3?
Yeah, you're right. And this is where, with the mist and the cold, this is where the offensive line is time to shine.
Millicent in motion, right to left. Bankton in the shotgun, 2 receivers right. Malm, who was the tailback, now lines up to the right side. And Bankton will take the snap. They'll rush 5. Bankton flushed out of the pocket to the left side, tucks it and runs 30. Gets a key block from Millicent. 35, first down, out of bounds at the 40-yard line. QB1 again, this time for a run of 13 yards to move the chains.
What an excellent job there. It was man on man. They've brought a 5-man pressure. Everybody had to block up front. That time Bankston felt a little pressure, stepped up into the pocket, and Brody's Millicent, the sophomore, was there to make a block for him and pick up a big chunk of yards and a first down for the Pups.
Clock does stop after going out of bounds. 11:02 to go in the game. McPherson 14, Buhler 7. Bankson in the shotgun, 2 receivers each side. He'll take the snap, looking to throw, fakes, now flushed out of the pocket, and he's going to tuck it and run again. Spins at the 45, pushes forward across midfield for a first down. Is that a quarterback or a running back? What a game, what a drive by Carter Bankson. 11 yards. He was dead to right to the 45, but then hit the B button and got to Buhler's side of the field.
Yeah, again, man on man. He read that it was man coverage, and he understood that if there was nobody open, if he can step up through the pocket and just pick up some yardages, he's going to have a lot of space to run. That time picked up 11 yards and another first down.
In the pistol, Bankton fakes the snap, now trips to the left, 1 receiver wide right. Millicent is the tailback. Bankton now gets set with 7 on the play clock. Handoff. Millicent, haven't said his name much yet except on defense, but he lowers the head across the 45 to the 43-yard line. Ball came out late, but they said he was down by contact for a gain of about 6 yards on first down.
Yeah, Brody Millicent, a running back who had a ton of success early on. He's got over 465 yards on the ground this season coming into today's game. Hasn't carried the football much, but look to see them get him going as the season continues and as this game goes on.
Some confetti came out of nowhere from the far sideline, and it's dissipated near the end zone they're trying to get to. 2nd down and 4, handoff. It's Becker this time, lowers the head at the 40, going no further. He'll be just short of the sticks, but it'll be 3rd down and 1. 9:45 to go in the ball game. 3rd down and 1, McPherson at the Buhler 40 with the Bullpups up 7. But there will be an injury as an O-lineman is down. That's Creighton Bird, the starting right guard. Asher Allen is his backup. He puts on his helmet and he will step in. So we'll have a injury timeout brought to you by Pile Law. If you've been injured at work or in a car wreck, contact Pile Law. They'll work to give you the benefits that you deserve. We'll keep it here for right now, as we'd like to thank some of our other sponsors for helping us out as we have this pause in the action with 9:35 to go in the game. The Bradbury Company, The Hub, MTC, Gearing Hardware, Hutchinson Community College, Alliance Agency, APAC Shears, Raleigh Insurance, McPherson Dental Care, Pile Law, The Finished Tallgrass Turf Solutions. It's one of those where there's weird conditions. This could, it almost looked like it could be a cramp because he was about to go into the huddle, then something just kind of seized up, I think, with his leg. So he was kind of crawling near side. Now he's on his back and getting looked at by the training staff. And Coach Pav is there too. This is a little bit longer than anticipated, and I didn't really see anything stretched out. His helmet is off, and he's going to walk off the field. He does put some weight on that left leg, which does have a band on under his left knee. And he's fired up. He's lowering the head. What is he doing? He's lowering his head when he doesn't have a helmet on to his teammates. You already got an injury. You don't need a concussion, my guy.
I just got very Kevin Harlan vibes from you right there.
Hey, we are both Jayhawks. 3rd down and 1, handoff. It is Millicent, left side, gets 2 yards. He just needed 1, but moved those sticks. 1st down and 10, McPherson. They are at the Buhler 38.
Yeah, Lane, to go back to Creighton Bird, I just think they were working on kind of his left calf. I think it was a little bit of a calf, just a calf pull or a calf strain, but, or just a simple cramp. But he looks like he's going to get some water in his system, and they're going to run with Asher Allen here at right guard.
McPherson 1st down and 10. Just over 9 minutes to go in the game. McPherson up 14-7 over Buhler. Trips to the right, 1 receiver left. Becker in the backfield. They'll hand it off to Dane. Cuts right. Spins away at the 35, which is where he goes down. That's only a gain of about 3 yards, but Dane Becker turning nothing into something again. And that's something he's done. He's very shifty. And we saw that in the first drive that McPherson had, 4th down and 1, in which 2 defenders came in. He somehow split through both of them and crossed the goal line. and we've seen it all season long for Dane.
Yeah, Dane has had a nice season so far, just over 560 yards on the ground, or 596 yards on the ground this season coming into today. 56 yards so far on the ground here tonight.
Second down and 7. Play clock down to 10, 8:25 to go in the game. It'll be another handoff. Becker looking for the left edge. 35, cuts near side, a flag down inside the 30, pulled down at the 27, but this one's coming back. Looked like a flag on McPherson for a hold.
Yeah,
that looked plain as day, actually.
I was going to say that one's a little bit plain as day. It's a little bit, not going to say it's on Dane Becker a little bit, but if Dane Becker were to cut it up there at the point of contact or at the point of attack there, they probably don't call the holding call, but the fact that he tried to cut it outside or flip it outside really made that obvious.
Well, there's 8:15 to go. Second down and 17 now at the 45-yard line. McPherson's in the shotgun. Boy, Buhler defense lined up a little bit late. Bankson fakes the snap. Now they'll all look to the sideline to get their calls from the coaches on the near side. Black hoodies and black pants. Looked like they kind of went like kind of a business casual last week, but it's cold this time. They're going to look to throw. He has Malm on the near side on a jailbreak screen right at the 45, 30, 35, 30, 25, cuts right, 20, 15, 10, 5, and it's Ashton Malm time. Touchdown McPherson. Ashton Malm does it again. It's on that play where he becomes just the 5th receiver in McPherson High School history to have over 1,000 receiving yards in a season, and what a way to do it. They lead 20-7 with 8 minutes left.
I was just thinking, Lane, on this play, they brought up Dylan Skripsik to kind of run press man, but then he tried to fall out, but that was going to set up that jailbreak screen so perfectly when he goes out 5, 6, 7 yards deep into the defensive backfield. Just gave him enough space to get it out to Malm. Malm, make a man miss, run through some arm tackles, and pick up 45 yards for another touchdown.
There is a Buhler defender down on the play, so we have this pause for this Pile-Law injury timeout. We can't quite see who it is, but we'll go ahead and take a quick break. McPherson leads 20-7 over Buhler. 8:04 to go. The PAT is coming up after this break. You're listening to Bullpup Football from the Midway Motors broadcast booth on KMCP.
Do you have plans this weekend? How about spending a little time working on some of those touch-up jobs around the house? With Do It Best quality paints, you can expect the highest quality and beauty. Do It Best quality paints is easy to apply and clean up, and you'll love the results. Stop by Gearing Hardware in Moundridge. One of our friendly staff members will help you choose the right Do It Best quality paints, color, and supplies you need to get those touch-up jobs accomplished.
98.9 and 1540 KMCP.
An Ashton Malm 45-yard touchdown on a jailbreak screen, but we have an extended pause in the action because of an injury to a Buhler player, but it is 20-7 McPherson, 8:04 to go here in this game. You take rivalries aside, this is something you don't want to see, is the Buhler player that's down, we don't have a number yet, still has not gotten up. He's still getting looked at by the training staff. Both Buhler players and McPherson players have kind of come together looking to show their support, and it is a rivalry game, but you do not want to see anything like this.
Yeah, no, I mean, you take the rivalry is great on the field, but once it comes off the field, you start talking about injuries, it kind of goes away. Everybody's going to respect each other, and when stuff like this happens, it's just not fun.
Well, and let's keep this in mind. This is technically a rivalry because it's a really close. They're separated by about a 20-minute drive as the man down able to set up now, but let's bear in mind a lot of these athletes are friends because they play on a lot of the same summer leagues, especially in baseball. These are two good baseball schools. A lot of them play on the same teams, and some of them are good friends. The man that's down looks to be Asher McConaughey, or no, it's Kingston Reyes that's down. And Reyes is a starting safety, and they can't afford really any more secondary losses due to injury. He is under his own power, but I think it maybe has to do with something in the upper body. And yeah, Reyes is a 6-foot junior and a safety on this team, and this team has already dealt with injuries in the secondary, and Buhler can't afford that. But back on the field, McPherson leads 20-7. The ensuing PAT is just coming up. A 45-yard touchdown pass to Ashton Malm on a jailbreak screen. And, we're not going to speculate on what the injury might be. We may have an idea, but we don't want to, say it publicly in case it's not that. But he is up and moving to the sideline. He's getting help doing so, but we wish the best for Kingston Reyes. McPherson in for the PAT, Jackson Hoover to do so, and Buhler now will have to try to come back on a 2-touchdown deficit. They await the snap. It's down. Good hold. The kick is up, and it is good. 21-7 McPherson. Back-to-back touchdown drives for the Bullpups. Give them a 14-point lead. We're back in 30 seconds for the ensuing kickoff. You're listening to Bullpup Football from the Midway Motors broadcast booth on KMCP.
This is Darren Eddy with Ag 360 Insurance in Inman. For years, we've been known for our great service with our ag customers, but did you know we can handle your family or small business insurance needs as well? We would love an opportunity to sit down and visit with you about what we can do for you. As an independent agency, we can shop different coverage options for you. Stop by our office on Old K61 in Inman or give Cody Moores or myself a call today at 620-585-2128 or check us out online at ag360insurance.com.
98.9 and 1540 KMCP.
McPherson 21, Buhler 7 with 8 minutes to go in the ball game. A historic touchdown by Ashton Malm. With that 45-yard touchdown, he becomes the 5th receiver all-time in McPherson High School history to have at least 1,000 yards in a season. The 4th most receiving yards in a single season. He's now upwards, I can't do the math in my head, but he's got 78 on the game today. That puts him at 1,021 on the season. That passes Aaron Powell with his 1,008-yard year that he had in 2020. That also tied the number 3 spot with Christian Ulsaker for the most receiving touchdowns in a season. That was his 12th. And McPherson, more importantly, is up 21-7 with 8:04 to go in the ball game against this Buhler squad here on senior night. Now Buhler, let's see how they can respond. Hoover will run up and will be a line drive punt that goes off the hands of a Crusader. He then has to dive on it at the 29, but he does so, that being Noah Hayes. But Buhler takes over, now down by 2 touchdowns, 8 minutes to go.
Yeah, 8 minutes to go here, Lane, and I wouldn't be shocked. I still think Buhler's going to still continue to try to run the football, stick to their identity, and just try to create a chunk play or two through that. But I wouldn't be shocked if they start to try to really pass the football, which they have not done to a ton of success here. Just from my count, again, 35 passing yards here tonight so far, and hasn't really had many attempts or any receptions here in this second half.
Wow. In the shotgun is Asher Zachary. 8 on the play clock. He'll take the snap and roll to his left. Fire on the run. Caught at the 35. And down the sideline, lowering the head. Martinez initiating the contact. And then he goes out of bounds at the 41. 11-yard pass to move the chains for a first down.
Like I said, just the first reception so far here tonight. It's just a simple out route. Get it out into space to Martinez and let him kind of do the rest of it. And kind of laid the boom on the cornerback out on the far sideline.
And clock stops after going out of bounds. First down and 10 at their own 41 for Buhler. 2 receivers right, 1 wide left. In the shotgun, Zachary rolls right, looks to throw. It is dropped by Martinez. Martinez kind of changed how he was going to try to receive the ball, then it ended up going behind him. But had he stayed in the motion that he was going to, he probably would have had an easy catch, but it's incomplete to make it 2nd and 10.
Yeah, Lane, that's the same play. They just flipped it. For the most part, they're just running him out, running the quarterback out, just kind of on a bootleg out to each sideline, and then just having Martinez go out into the flat on a little 3-yard out route. They tried it both times. That time, no success.
Clock stops, 7:52 to go in the game. McPherson 21, Buhler 7. Buhler on offense, 2nd and 10. High snap over the head of Zachary. He races forward and dives on it at the 30-yard line, and that's an 11-yard loss. The second time there's been a high snap for Buhler, and it's 3rd down and long coming up for the Crusaders.
Yeah, just a little out of sorts. I mean, that ball was the snap really almost hit him in the face mask and just was unable. It almost looked like he was surprised that it got on him so hot and knocked it up into the air, and it was almost recovered by the Bullpups.
3rd down and 21 at their own 30. They need to get to the McPherson 49. And no doubt it's 4-down territory for Buhler from here on out with just over 7 minutes to go. Trips to the right, 1 receiver left. Man in the backfield in the shotgun. Zachary looks to throw, looking near side. Here comes pressure, hit from behind, and down he goes. It's big Bo Barkley with the sack in the backfield. It is 4th down and long for Buhler. They're going to punt.
Bo Barkley again. Man, he has had a really nice game here so far. He's been all over the place and has just taken the left tackle to work right now.
That is the third possession in which McPherson limited Buhler to negative yards. -3 this time. Dane Becker back deep to return. McConaughey actually rolls to his left after pressure came, but he's going to punt it away. High into the air it goes. And it will bounce to the 50 backwards and maybe to the Buhler 49. I think they may give it to midfield, but McPherson takes over with 6:26 remaining.
Yeah, this is where you lean on that offensive line. Creighton Bird's now back in the game, replacing his backup, Asher Allen, so that's a good sign for this offensive line. But Dylan Hall, Jace Gunn, Braxton Burgess, Creighton Bird, McCoy Bergen, this is where they get the nickname the Big Uglies. They just want to get up there, get dirty, and just block for these running backs and allow them to pick up 4 or 5 yards.
6:26 to go in the pistol. Bankton hands it off. Becker cuts right, now back up field, lowers the head at the 46, driving and push forward to the 45, and a 5-yard run for Dane Becker. McPherson will probably just try to nickel and dime, run out the clock. There's just over 6 minutes left, and McPherson up by 2 possessions. It's by no means necessary over, especially with this rivalry. Nothing's ever over, definitely. No deficit is not comebackable from, if that even makes sense. In the pistol and motion up front, McPherson's going to cross the line. It will be a flag and a false start. McPherson will make it 2nd and 10 on that penalty.
Well, you just picked up 5 yards.
They got to move it back.
Less than ideal, but now it kind of sets up more space, so more time can be taken off the clock.
That is correct. It does stop when the flag is thrown, and then it'll start up again with the play clock reset to 25. So when they set the ball, and indeed they do, back to midfield, the clock will roll. Less than 6 minutes left, and McPherson will get their play call. In this second half, McPherson's 4 drives, punt, touchdown, touchdown. 4 drives for Buhler on offense, all of them resulting in a punt. Play clock down to 6. In the pistol is Bankton. Becker in the backfield. Play clock down to 3, down to 2, and Bankton takes a wide snap but hands it off cleanly. Becker makes one man miss but won't make another. Cutting to the near side, and a flag is down in the backfield as Becker will get help getting up, but a flag down at the 45. At the McPherson 45, that's in the backfield. And that's an offensive holding. That'll make it 2nd down and about 20 yards for McPherson. Or do they actually, the official on the far side said they're going to decline the penalty because it's going to be 3rd down and 10, which makes sense because they want to get the ball sooner should they not convert on this 3rd down.
That's big brain play by head coach Steve Warner. And obviously he's been head coach 39 years. He's a wily veteran, as they call him.
It's his 20th year at Buhler. 169 and 56 at Buhler, but in his career, 289 and 117 in 39 years of head coaching.
Double team down here on Ashton Malm.
Good call there. 3rd down and 10. Clock does continue to run. Just over 5 minutes to go. Play clock down to 5. Bankson in the shotgun, 2 by 2. Here comes extra pressure. They'll look to throw it to screen pass across the middle for Becker. Cut right, then back left at the 45. Pushing for the 40. He may have gotten it. He did. It's a 1st down for McPherson. What a gutsy play call. And a late flag comes in, which will likely be on Buhler after the play. But it's 1st down either way for McPherson. Man, what a play call by offensive coordinator John Montgomery and head coach Jace Pavlovich.
Yeah, they brought pressure from the outside. The slot cornerback came in off on the pressure. You see that a lot with the Steve Samagnolo defense, the Kansas City Chiefs, where they just bring the cornerback in on pressure. They sneak him in. But what that does is it allows you to sneak somebody out, get the football out quickly. There's going to be space open because there's not enough defenders there to cover it up. That time with a little screen pass, you get your guard center guard combo out in space, getting lead blocks, pickups 10 yards, and then another 15 for the heck of it.
Yeah, personal foul called on Buhler, so it is a 15-yard penalty and under 5 minutes to go. McPherson has 1st and 10 at the Buhler 25. A touchdown could just about ice it if they're able to score on this drive. 2 struggling weeks for McPherson with losses to Mulvane and especially to Augusta. But boy, what a turnaround it's been for the Pups. 5 on the play clock. Bankson in the pistol. 2 receivers right, 1 left. Out of the backfield, it's Keaton Crane taking the handoff. He'll push to the right side and get a gain of about 2 yards on first down. Keaton Crane, who hasn't really run the ball much all season. He's a third-string running back behind Becker and Millison. He gets a couple.
Yeah, getting Keaton Crane. Does he have any?
I don't think
carry?
he does, but I'll double-check after the game. But
I think that's his first carry on the year, and picks up 2 yards. It's a nice run for Keaton Crane as Dane Becker comes now back into the game.
Yeah, McPherson letting this clock roll. Now, both of these teams do have 3 timeouts remaining. We're at under 4 minutes to go. Play clock down to 12. McPherson breaks the huddle. They'll line up in the pistol. Becker is the man as the tailback trips to the right with a tight end and 2 receivers. 1 wide left, that's Malm. Bankton takes the snap with 2 on the play clock. Handoff. Becker, stutter step move, but then got hit at the line, maybe got a yard at most. It'll be 3rd down and about medium for McPherson. They'll say no gain on that play. 3rd down and 8.
Yeah, just another play to kind of keep this clock rolling. I mean, this is exactly where you want to be. You get into this 4-minute offense. You just continue to let the football run the football and let this clock roll, and hopefully you don't have to get into a 4th down spot. I think now you may see a shot at the end zone, 3rd down and 8, but from this distance you may even think about kind of a field goal from Jackson.
I was about to say this near field goal range, but even then, even if he misses it but it crosses the goal line, that would be a touchback, and Buhler will get it at the 20. But 3rd down and 8 here with 3 minutes left, 5 on the play clock, tight end in motion. Bobbled snap, but it found the hands of Becker, trying to lower the head at the 22. Won't go much further than that. He got pushed backwards by Crusaders, but they will finally rule him down at the 22, and Buhler will call a timeout, their first of the half, with 2:50 to go. It'll be 4th down and about 6 yards at the 21, but Jackson Hoover's coming onto the field, at least during this timeout, in what would be about a 37-yard field goal. Now, Hoover's 2 for 5 on field goals, but his longest make was from 36. His longest attempt was from 49, which he did miss, but across the goal line, which is a touchback, which is the rules in high school. And Coach Pav did say in the pregame, he's got a heck of a leg, and actually the wind is at his favor. It's blowing more towards the north, so the wind's at his favor. So it's either one of 2 things if Hoover comes out to kick. 1, he makes it, and it's 24-7. 2, he misses it, and it crosses the goal line. It's a touchback. Buhler gets it at their own 20.
Yeah, either way, you're okay with it. I mean, you're up by 2 possessions. You can make it essentially 3 possessions here. Yep. With only 2:50 to go, Buhler only has 2 timeouts. You're okay either way. There is no need to try to put any stress on your offense. Just go put it on Jackson Hoover.
Well, they're going to bring him out, and they are going to kick a field goal. This would be actually from 39 yards. 39 yards on the left hash for Jackson Hoover. This would be the longest he would make this year. The sophomore, ranked one of the best kickers in the state of Kansas and even in the country for his class. 2:50 to go in the game. If he makes it, it's a 17-point lead. Good snap, good hold. The kick is blocked. It's on the turf and still bobbled around, and Buhler picks it up at the 20, so it kind of works out either way. Head coach Chase Pavlovich, he wanted an offsides call. He's out with his arms out saying, where was the flag, but none was thrown. There was a little bit of movement on the front line, but the official said he didn't cross the line of scrimmage. But the blocked field goal gives it back to Buhler, and they have it at their own 20. So, hey, works out pretty much one and the same.
Yeah, this is gonna work out essentially exactly what you're okay with on the miss, but I wasn't really paying attention. I have no idea if he was offside or if there was a good argument there. I mean, you would have a better knowledge of that lane. But
I couldn't tell if there was movement, but I couldn't tell if he crossed the line. That's the thing, because it's at a weird angle. So Buhler takes over at their own 20, and now whistles blow. And officials figuring it out, and now we'll get back to it. I think maybe a play clock malfunction or other. But they have it at their own 20. On 1st and 10, Zachary looks to throw across the middle. It's caught by Martinez, going to the right side near the 35, looking for a blocker 40, near side and out of bounds at the 46-yard line. Brody Hoffman finally closed it off, and that's a 26-yard pitch and catch to Landon Martinez, out of bounds with 2:36 remaining.
Yeah, an excellent pitch and catch, just kind of coming on a crosser was Landon Martinez, and was able to get his cleats into the turf and pick up a good 26-yard pickup.
Late sub out for Buhler. McPherson up 21-7, 2:36 remaining. Buhler with the ball with 2 timeouts remaining. in this ball game. Zachary with trips to the left, one receiver wide to the right in the shotgun. Takes the chest-high snap, three-step drop, looking to throw. Here comes the pressure. Stutzman hits it as he throws, but it's thrown and caught by Martinez. Out of bounds at the McPherson 46 for an 8-yard pass somehow.
What a play by Asher Zachary. I mean, he had Jaron Stutzman, the defensive end, all over him and was able to get the football out and find a wide receiver in Landon Martinez and pick up another 8-yard play.
And out of bounds he went, 2nd and 2 with 2:28 to go at the McPherson 46-yard line. Trips near side, one receiver wide to the left. They're on the left hash. Zachary takes the snap, looking to throw, gets an extra block. It's a screen pass. Klaus near side. Here comes a defender. He doesn't get him. Klaus near side at the 40, finally down inbounds at the 39. As they'll stop the clock momentarily, but they'll spot the ball. Boy, did Dylan Hall almost have him dead to rights, but Klaus escaped it, and it does move the chains for Buhler. 1st down and 10. They'll rule it at the 40.
Again, I really like these screen plays. They really just get defenders out of position.
Trips to the left, one receiver right in the shotgun. Zachary to throw again. Feels the pressure, throws it. Far side, caught across the 30 at the 25. Melton tries to save the touchdown. He does inside the 15 to about the 13-yard line. And inbounds, he went down as well. But another long gain for Buhler. That one from about 26 yards. And with less than 2 minutes remaining, they're trying to move this down the field, especially with 2 timeouts remaining.
Pass completed there to Jacob Miller, and when he has been all over the place today and had a really nice game for the Crusaders. 1st and 10 at the McPherson 14, 1:55 to go and ticking. Zachary rolls to his right, wanting to pass again. Steps up in the pocket, now delivers a caught at the 5. Martinez looking for an opening inside the 5, driving to the goal line, but he's down at the 1-yard line. Clock stops momentarily while they spot the ball. Zachary getting helped out, but because his pads were in the wrong place, but it's 1st down and goal at the 1 for Buhler with about 100 seconds left. Zachary now in the eye. He will spike it down at the 1-yard line to stop the clock with 1:41 remaining. That's interesting. 1-yard line, maybe QB sneak, hand it off, get the touchdown there, but no, you try to open the playbook, and 1:39 to go actually, because another second came off, and this scoreboard's kind of been malfunctioning for forever. So I almost said this season, but it's for forever basically, to where if it shows it'll show 1 second, they kind of freeze and then take 2 seconds off, and that's just because the technology is trying to catch up. Because, yeah, so it's an old scoreboard.
Exactly. I mean, you've been on that side of the press box quite a few times. 2nd down and goal at the 1. They will be a QB sneak. Zachary driving to the goal line. I don't even think he crossed. No, he did not. He's held up at the 1-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and goal, and the clock's going to continue to tick, tick, tick.
Oh,
wow.
Do you need to call timeout here?
I'm surprised they're not. 1:20 remaining. 3rd down and goal at the 1. Zachary waits for the snap, gets it, hands it off. Klaus, he'll cross the goal line. Touchdown, Buhler, with 1:14 remaining. There's that play that they needed, and they get themselves back onto the board, and they could make it a 7-point game with 1:14 to go plus 2 timeouts.
Yeah, it just right after the quarterback sneak try, just getting it in the hands of your best player, Ben Klaus, is going to be the ideal play no matter what you do, especially 3rd down and goal to go from the 1.
Nathan Wells with the PAT. It is up, and he missed it wide left. It's no good, and it is still an 8-point game. He missed a field goal earlier wide left. That time, just his 4th missed PAT this year, and it's an 8-point game. 1:14 to go, but we got a big possession coming up. You do not want to miss the ending. You're back at 30 seconds here from McPherson. You're listening to Bullpup Football from the Midway Motors broadcast booth on KMCP.
Whether you want a small home remodel or need repairs done or have a brand new build project in mind, Erickson Custom Building is your choice. All of us at Erickson Custom Building would like to thank our customers for 20 years of business and friendship. Ryan and the crew at Erickson have spent those years developing excellent customer service and quality leadership for all types of projects, big or small, traditional or trendy. When your project is finished, it will reflect your vision. For quality and follow-through that exceeds your expectations, not your budget, call Erickson Custom Building or find us on the web at ericksoncustombldg.com.
98.9 and 1540 KMCP.
1:14 to go. Buhler scores but does not convert on the PAT. McPherson still leads 21-13. Buhler's may go for an onside kick. We'll see. They do have 2 timeouts. The hands team is on for McPherson, which includes Carter Bankton, which we kind of touched on a little bit. I mean, yeah, he's the quarterback, but he's a shortstop in baseball, so he's got good hands. Coming up, Wells, it will be an onside kick, but a flag is down, and this is going to be offsides on Buhler for crossing the line before the kick was made. That'll push him back 5 yards.
Yeah, because this is the kicking team is technically considered offense. It's a false start,
yes.
And so you can't have the play through and decline it. So they will have to move this back to the college 35-yard line.
Millicent delivered a terrific throw to Nathan Wells. Millicent had the ball in his hands, gave it to the kicker Wells so he could spot it on the tee. But now they'll do a onside kick from the 35, possibly. Wells runs up, low line drive, booted, and on the turf it goes, but picked up by McPherson at the 42. Now, as Braxton Burgess comes onto the field, he motions to the O-line, exactly what I was thinking. 2 timeouts left, 1:11 to go. Burgess says, we need a first down. First down, game over.
1 first down.
Correct.
Not 2, 1 first down.
Could get it with 0, but unlikely.
You could.
With the 2 timeouts, but need 1, and that ices it. 1:11 to go. And they have it at their own 42. Bankton in the eye, hands it off. Becker, stutter step in the backfield, hit up high, and he'll lose a couple of yards. And down to the 40-yard line, timeout will be called with 1:04 to go. Buhler has 1 left.
Yeah, everybody knows what you're going to do here. They know you're going to run. So Buhler's going to come up. They're going to try to stop the run as best as possible. This Bullpup offensive line is going to try to get as good a push as ever. This is the point of the game where it's who's going to be the strongest at the point of attack.
Yeah. And while we have this pause in the action, I'd like to thank McPherson Center for Health, McPherson Laundry, Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers, Pools Plus, Mid-Kansas Credit Union, Bullseye Irrigation, the Pooh Squad, Terra Financial Crop Insurance. 2nd down and 12, 1:04 to go. Now, if we think about it, if nothing goes awry, McPherson could hand it off another time, timeout called, and if it's 3rd down, they would run a play and could run it down to about 20 seconds before, if needed, they could punt it away. So time not on Buhler's side whatsoever, especially now with 1 timeout remaining. 64 seconds left. Also down by 8. So you think about it, with the missed PAT, not only do you need to get the touchdown, you got to get the 2-point conversion just to tie. And that's big either way. Now, McPherson, they've worked a lot as the rain, it's starting to come down a little bit. They've worked quite a bit on these under center plays because of the conditions that could have come. So that helps out. On 2nd down and 12, handoff near side. It's Becker at the 45 and spun down at the 48-yard line. How about that? A gain of 8, or gain of 9 actually. And it will be 3rd down and 3 as Buhler calls their final timeout with 57 seconds left.
That right there is a play that will go down as something that will win them the game. That right there goes on the offensive line. On the offensive line highlight tapes, when everybody knows you're going to run the football and you just have Dylan Hall and Chase Gunn on the left side of the offensive line creating a hole like that, man, that is incredible stuff right there. This offensive line against this defensive front, I know they asked early in the year about getting their flowers, and here they are. I mean, this offensive line has held up strong all game long.
57 seconds remaining, 3rd down and 3. When these 2 teams get back onto the turf. McPherson, after a bit of a gut check couple of weeks, trying to do some soul searching, a chance to not only turn it around but defeat a Buhler team that they lost against last year, but get a huge win under their belts to host the first round of playoffs and be a top 8 seed. 3rd and 3. They're going to hand it off. Extra men on the blitz, hit immediately, driving at the 50, 49. Did he get to the 48? One official has him near the 48, actually, which is where he needed, but he may be a yard short. Yes, he is at the 49. It's 4th down and 1. Clock will tick, 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 and in fact, when the ball is snapped, there'll be about 7 seconds remaining. It's 25 on the play clock, 32 on the game clock. No timeouts left for Buhler. It's 4th and 1. McPherson, what I think they're going to do is run this all the way down to 0, then call timeout. McPherson has all 3, and there will be 7 seconds remaining.
and then you're going to arm punt.
Yeah, but the thing is, you may or may not, when it goes down, there still may be time left, but still, timeout call with 8 seconds left. McPherson. Yeah, Coach Pat, the McPherson was starting to celebrate. Coach Pat pulled his arms out and said, don't celebrate yet. There's still 8 seconds. Weird things can happen.
Lane, I'm gonna explain what they're gonna do here, and this is word for word what I think Coach Pavlovich is about to say here. Is we're gonna get into shotgun. We're gonna spread this out option into a spread offense here. What we're gonna try to do is we're gonna drop back about an 18-yard step, and we're gonna drop back about 15 yards, and then we're just gonna heave it up down the field and out of bounds. We're gonna try to throw this out of bounds, and it has to land after 8 seconds, and what they're going to try to do, and that's exactly what they're going to try to do, and then they're going to win the game, celebrate, and go into tomorrow morning with good film to watch.
See what they go with, or maybe go into your bag of tricks, get something to just get the yard and get the first down, but obviously that's gutsy. We'll see. Offense on the field. Dane Becker in as a tailback. Barkley as the tight end. Malm and Puhala are in as well. Bankton is standing at the 45. It'll be an empty back, but there's one guy on the left side and the right side and a receiver wide to the right. So Bankton, he's going to run straight backwards. 35 and still keep going at the 4, 3, 2 seconds, 1 second, and time is out. He will go out of the back of the end zone. It'll be a safety, but there will be no continuation, and McPherson gets a big victory over the Crusaders on senior night. And they get the dub. They will host the first round of playoffs, and they will be in this very stadium next week and finish the regular season with a winning record at 5-3. After the safety, the final score, McPherson 21, Buhler 15. The Bullpup Locker Room Show is next. You're listening to McPherson High School football from the Midway Motors broadcast booth on KMCP.
Coverage of Bullpup football continues next with the Bullpup Locker Room Show. On the way, we'll recap tonight's game, and we'll hear the post-game thoughts of head coach Jace Pavlovich. 98.9 and 1540 KMCP. The McPherson Bullpups play here.
Controlling your own weather can be easier than controlling anything else these days. This is Julie with RC Heating and Cooling. With a well-working cooling and heating system, you can be in control of your indoor weather at home. With so many things out of our hands, it's a good feeling to have a bit of stability. Call RC for a free estimate on new cooling and heating equipment. Call RC when your unit isn't up to par. Call RC to stay comfortable in any weather. Call RC 241-2787.
Now's the time to inspect your fleet and save big with Prairieland Partners Power Inspections. Bundle your equipment to receive 50% off any inspection after your first 2 large ag inspections. Plus, receive a special gift with your 4th Inspect the Fleet piece of equipment. Get peace of mind today by letting their John Deere certified technicians inspect your equipment. Offers end 12/31/2025. Restrictions apply. Call, stop by, or visit prairielandpartners.com to schedule today.
Prairieland Partners.
When you bank with Great Plains Federal Credit Union, you're more than a customer. You're a member and an owner. That means fewer fees, better rates, and real people who care about you and your financial goals. Stop by one of our convenient locations in McPherson, Salina, Abilene, or Hillsborough and experience the credit union difference today. Great Plains Federal Credit Union in McPherson, member NCUA.
Life's better when you're under our roof because our agents can help you choose insurance to help protect what matters most. Life insurance from American Family Life Insurance Company can help financially protect your loved ones by replacing a portion of your income if you were to pass away. That means your family can have the help they need to continue to pursue their dreams.
Visit your local American Family Insurance agent, Steve Barr, at 807 North Main, McPherson.
Products not available in all states. American Family Life Insurance Company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
American Family Insurance.
Bullpup football on KMCP.
McPherson with a big-time victory at home on senior night against the Buhler Crusaders. Final score, McPherson 21, Buhler 15. McPherson ends the regular season at 5-3. They'll finish 3-2 in league play, which will put them tied for third, as both Buhler and Mulvane will share the league title, both being 4-1 in league play this year. McPherson will tie with Augusta, if you could believe that. If you could think about that in the preseason, but yeah. They'll tie with Augusta, both 3-2 in league play. And what a day, what a game for McPherson, and they get the victory over Buhler 21-15. This is something we talked about all day long, Nathan. This was a defense that struggled. They weren't really together much as a team, but this go around, they found themselves after doing a lot of soul searching, and they're going to use not just the momentum of winning a game, but a momentum of winning on senior night, against Buhler, this, that, and the other. They'll move that into the playoffs.
Yeah, no, 100%. And when things are going wrong, the number one opponent the Bullpups always want to play is Buhler, because they know that no matter what's going on, they're going to come together as a unit, as a team, as a school, as a community, and say, we're going to beat Buhler. And that is exactly what they came out here and did tonight. Talking to a few other people, that have come through the booth, it was like that was a completely different performance than what we've seen the last few weeks from the Bullpups, and they're right. Everything they did today was good for the most part.
Absolutely. 6-point win, McPherson 5-3. They will definitely host the first round of playoffs after Andover Central lost today, so McPherson will at least be the 8 seed. We'll see if they get the 7 because, I say with the point difference, but they only win by 6 this time. But still, what a game for McPherson. There was history made, too, of course, for wide receiver Ashton Malm, becoming the 5th receiver in school history to have over 1,000 yards in a season. He is now 4th all-time in McPherson High School history for the most receiving yards in a season, and this season ain't over, beating out Aaron Powell's 1,008 yards in a season, which he did in 2020. He also has 12 touchdowns this season, which he had on a 45-yard touchdown to make it 21-7. That is tied for third most in a season in school history. Let's talk about how we got here. McPherson forced a fumble. I say they forced a fumble. It was a bad exchange on the offensive side of the football for Buhler, which made that fumble, and then McPherson picked it up with Jaron Stutzman picking up that fumble. And then McPherson drove down the field on 4th down and goal at the 1. Dane Becker got the 1-yard touchdown run to make it 7-0. And then Buhler then answered back on their very next possession after starting off at the McPherson 40 on a deep return. A 10-yard touchdown run by Jacob Miller made it 7-all, and then nobody scored for the remainder of the first half. Buhler since then had punt, missed field goal, end of half. McPherson had punt, and turnover on downs. Second half started. It was stymied once again for both teams to start off. 4 punts, 2 from each team, started off the half, and then McPherson finally got it at their own 20, and in one play, a chunk play, 80 yards down the field, 80-yard touchdown pass, Carter Bankton to Brody Hoffman, the first touchdown as a Bullpup for Brody Hoffman, who did not even caught a pass until today in a game situation. He had 2 tonight, getting that 80-yard touchdown. McPherson then forced a punt defensively, and then on 2nd down and long after a penalty, jailbreak screen, where have we heard that before, to Ashton Malm, where he drove it 45 yards down the field for a touchdown, which made it 21-7. After forcing another punt, McPherson got their field goal blocked, and where there was about 2 minutes left, actually 2 minutes and 42 seconds, trying to extend it, but at most possibly get a chance for Buhler to have it at their own 20-yard line. It was blocked, but then recovered by Buhler at the 20, so it worked out well. But Buhler drove down the field in a minute 28 to score a touchdown on a 1-yard touchdown run by Ben Klaus, but they missed the PAT to make it 21-13. McPherson had the ball with only 2 timeouts remaining by Buhler with 1:11 to go. They had 4th down and 1 at the Buhler 49-yard line with 8 seconds left, and they gave the snap to Carter Bankton, who ran the opposite end of the field, kind of like the road runner running away from Wile E. Coyote, and went out of the back of the end zone as clock hit 000s for a team safety. But after a safety, no continuation, game over. McPherson wins by a final score, 21-15. McPherson, again, they improved to 5-3. Buhler falls as they end the regular season to 5-3 as well. individual numbers and also team numbers. What do you got, Nathan?
Yeah, first for Buhler, I had them at 207 total yards unofficially, 126 through the air, and most of those came in the second half with their leading receiver being Landon Martinez with 66 yards through the air. On the ground, though, they had 81 yards rushing. The Bullpups were able to hold Ben Klaus to just 43 total yards on offense on the ground. But now you flip it over to the Bullpup side. They had 72 rushing yards total, led on the ground by Dane Becker with 71. Before that last play, Carter Bankson would have had 43 yards on the ground and ended the day with -8. That 72 would have been 123 without the -51. And then through the air, 203 passing yards. And for the first time all season, I can't say that Ashton Malm led us in receiving. That would be Brody Hoffman with 88 yards after 2 catches.
Who never caught a pass in a game until tonight. Interesting enough. We'll talk to Coach Pab when we return after this. You're listening to Bullpup Football from the Midway Motors broadcast booth on KMCP.
More of the Bullpup Locker Room Show is next. Stay tuned as we name tonight's play and player of the game. Find exclusive stories highlighting Bullpup athletics at adastraradio.com. 98.9 and 1540 KMCP.
Some people think the daily moves of the market make stress inevitable when it comes to investing. Hi, I'm Brad Seibel, your local Edward Jones financial advisor. One stress reducer is to have a plan and stick with it during the market's ups and downs. Here's another. Periodically rebalance your investments to align with your needs and risk comfort, and have a good financial advisor to sit down and talk to. Contact me at 620-241-6033. Keeping your investments under control can help keep your emotions in check. Edward Jones, making sense of investing, member SIPC.
Most people know you have to change the engine oil regularly, but did you know that there are at least 4 other fluids that need serviced at regular intervals? These include transmission, power steering, brake, transfer cases, and more. Even hybrids require regular maintenance to maximize fuel economy and reduce costly repair bills. Come see the professional service team at Jarrett Automotive to make sure your car is in tip-top condition.
When it's time to give your car some kale, come to Jar. We'll see you there.
Show your Bullpup pride with apparel from Art Shirt, Gear for Sport at 211 North Main, downtown McPherson. We offer a wide variety of apparel for everyone in the family, offering sizes from newborn all the way to 4X. We wish all the student athletes a safe and successful season. Go Bullpups!
If you're changing jobs or considering early retirement, you may be wondering what to do with your 401k. Before taking any action, make sure you know the rules, as mistakes can be costly. At Iron Horse Financial, we can show you how to avoid IRS penalties and full taxation, plus a little-known strategy to access funds early. For more info, go to 401krollovermistakes.com and download your free guide. You can also reach us at 620-765-6456.
Bullpup Football on KMCP.
Welcome back to the Bullpup Locker Room Show. McPherson defeats Buhler 21-15 on senior night and finished the regular season 5-3. We're joined on the headset now by the coach of the Bullpups, Jace Pavlovich. I said, over the break, I said to you, I know you guys had to do quite a bit of soul search in the last couple of weeks, but the first thing you said when you came up here, the guys are believing again.
Yeah. We had some tough conversations over the course of the last 2 weeks, and in general, what it takes to be a man. And, you can find out a lot about people when things go wrong. And then they did go wrong. Our guys kept persevering, kept believing. They kept trusting each other. They kept trusting us as coaches. And this is what happens. And, I told the team after the game, we've had a good run here in McPherson over the last 20-some years, but this one is ranks right up there at the top because of what we came from and how we had played the last 2 weeks, and we kept believing and kept grinding and got it done.
Absolutely. Now, just talking about both sides of the ball, one guy we talked about over the break defensively, Carter Melton, a sophomore, lights out today.
Yeah, guys. We're relying on a lot of sophomores out there, and Carter got his chance. Our linebacker room is severely depleted, and Carter stepped up in a big way tonight. He played both Mike and Will, kind of had a 3-man rotation, and he answered the call, and a lot of our guys did. You see Hoffman getting his first catch there in the first half in varsity football, and then makes a heck of a play there on that post cut, and just incredible execution tonight, and incredible belief in our guys.
On the offensive end, you talked about Brody Hoffman, a sophomore who didn't have a catch in a varsity game before tonight. He had 2, but that 80-yard touchdown, I didn't say it on air because there wasn't a whole lot of time to, but if that play wasn't a touchdown, I was going to say it. Because you guys were tied at 7, but I was thinking, there were going to be times where, tried chunk play after chunk play. It just wasn't there. But we knew it was going to get there at some point because we've seen it all season long. And when that happens, that's going to be a difference maker. How did that fuel the momentum just from the point of view of the sideline?
Well, our guys really were pretty excited the entire game. But that just blew the roof off for us. And to hear the crowd, great crowd again tonight, exploded. And that was a huge momentum swing for us. And then they in the next series they gave us a favorable look on our jailbreak flare screen. It's a double screen, and it's we've been making hay for this. This was an old Coach Young play that we've been running since 2006, and Ashton did Ashton things, and really proud of our offense because they're one of those teams that runs a 4-3 defense, leaves 7 in the box, and then just dares you to throw the ball. And we can do that a little bit. But, in the running game, we had to rush the ball better than anyone I've seen on tape so far this year.
Just speaking of Ashton, and we talk about him a lot, all season long. But, this is kind of why I asked you this week, about all the document with the school records and stuff like that, was to see about some history. Well, Ashton did so on that touchdown pass or touchdown catch alone. 5th receiver in school history with at least 1,000 yards in a season.
Yeah.
He now is the 4th most in a season. I think is added up to about 1,021 so far this year. 12 receiving touchdowns, ties for 3rd in a season in school history. Mind you, this is still a junior.
Yes. So he's electric. Offensively, our offensive line handled their slants and twists incredibly well. And, we talked to the guys with their slant and twist game. They're going to get us on occasion. They have to lead the country in negative plays because of what they do. But they also, if we stay the course, they also slant and twist their way out of tackling us in the backfield. So, our guys did a great job getting a hat on a hat. Carter Bankston made great decisions all night long like he's done all season long. Tailbacks played great. But, on the other side of the ball defensively, how about that?
Yeah.
We give up 50 and however many the week before, and, it just kind of looked like a sieve out there. But, Coach Harlan did a really good job, getting this game plan together. We actually switched back to a 4-2, and that made a big difference for us. Our guys played a lot more comfortable and confident and fast, and he made some great decisions, and the guys played really well tonight defensively.
Speaking of just that running game, there was, we talk about the chunk plays that gave McPherson touchdowns, but when me and Nathan kind of called the play of the game, final possession, you guys have 2nd down and 12. Buhler knows that you're going to run the ball. Dane still gets an 8-yard run to force 3rd and short. So just how much of a difference maker was that just with the with the game plan that would come in the next couple of plays with you securing the win with that safety, but you go from a 2nd and 12 to a 3rd and 3, and then what eventually becomes a 4th and a half a yard.
Yeah, that we don't get that penalty. We're 1st down, and the ball game's over. But I'll be honest with you, I've been wanting to run that play. I've been doing this for a long time, and I explained to the kids, all right, I want you to hold them. All right, tackle them, do whatever you need to do. Bankston, run backwards and look at the clock. As soon as it hits 0, get out of bounds or get out of the back of the end zone. And they, without practicing something like that, they executed it really well.
Exactly. Well, regular season's over, playoff time. Celebrate tonight, back to business tomorrow morning.
Back to It's the process, and that's what we talk to the guys about. And don't worry about the results. Let's just focus on the process, and the results will take care of themselves. So, very, very proud of our guys. Very proud of this team, this coaching staff for continuing to fight.
And thankfully, it will be in this very stadium next week.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a big difference maker. Coach, thank you so much for taking the time. Congratulations on just what an amazing win this was. And next Friday night, playoff time.
That's right. So, thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
That was head coach Jace Pavlovich on the headset. I mean, kind of broke it down pretty much all there. Again, there was quite a bit of soul searching over the past couple of weeks, and he said, the team, looked a lot within themselves, and they had a lot of tough conversations. But in the end, he said, how about that defense? The offense, they always do great things. Probably one of the lowest offensive days today, even with 275 total yards. Still one of the lowest on the year because of how great they are. But it was just the defense that came along and really just shined tonight. And that's what got them, in my mind, and I think everybody in this community would agree, the biggest win of the year.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, the 275 is a little, I shouldn't say jaded, but it's a little.
Okay, take away the 51.
Take away the 51. you're a little higher than that. But again, where the defense needed to step up, they absolutely did, and that makes this, in my opinion, the biggest win of the year, biggest game of the year, and kind of getting right going back into the playoffs, especially with the last few weeks that they've had.
Time now for our play of the game, brought to you by Hub Brick Oven. Nathan, what do you got?
I think you said it. I think you called it just a few seconds ago when you were talking to head coach Jace Pavlovich. It's that second down and 12 and 8-yard pickup by Dane Becker. But you shout out Dane Becker, but also at the same time I'm going to shout out the offensive line again for setting up that play, and especially Jace Gunn, left tackle, and Dylan Hall, the left tackle, on getting it done up front.
That's the Hub Brick Oven play of the game, featuring their world-famous Brick Oven Pizza. Get your grub at the Hub, located at 100 South Christian in Mound Ridge. And People's Bank and Trust player of the game, Nathan.
Brody Hoffman.
Absolutely.
Just having him making that 80-yard touchdown catch, blew the roof off this place, and this place doesn't even have a roof. So, so just him kind of breaking this open a little bit and breaking the seal on the offense is what I would call a player of the game mentality.
I mentioned that touchdown catch from 80 yards. It was bobbled, then he caught it. I likened it to the miracle of Jordan Hare that Auburn had against Georgia in 2013. That was a week before the kick six against Alabama, but it looked a lot like that. That is the People's Bank and Trust player of the game, community banking at its best with 21 locations in Kansas. This is People's Country. When we return, we'll take you around the McPherson Dental Care scoreboard and give you our final thoughts on tonight's matchup. Again, McPherson defeats Buhler 21-15 here on senior night to finish the regular season 5-3. You're listening to coverage of McPherson High School football from the Midway Motors broadcast booth on KMCP.
Tonight's coverage of Bullpup football continues next. KMCP is McPherson's news, sports, and classic hits. Lane Gillespie brings you Bullpup football Friday nights on 98.9 and 1540 KMCP.
Living the sweet life at So Swedish in Lindsborg. Explore Swedish candies you won't find anywhere else. Plus all the classic favorites you love. Bring the kids or just the kid in you. Living the sweet life at So Swedish, downtown Lindsborg.
Celebrate the end of the season toy and float sale going on now at Pools Plus. Surprise your family and friends with new outdoor furniture. 30% off all in-stock furniture and get $100 off for every $1,000 you spend. Shop local, shop Pools Plus, 21 East 1st and downtown Hutchinson.
Nestled in the beautiful community of Lindsborg, you'll find assisted living at its finest at Sunflower Terrace by Bethany Village. Whether you seek full independence, freedom from cooking, or just a little day-to-day assistance, Sunflower Terrace is a place you can feel at home.
Definitely come to Sunflower Terrace. Get a tour, come and look. And it was very easy, and so it was perfect.
Get your free guide today at sunflowerterrace.com.
Hey Bullpup fans, want to make a real difference in McPherson? Join the Bullpup Booster Club today. The Bullpup Booster Club proudly supports all student programs and activities, helping our teams, clubs, and organizations succeed. Your membership helps fund uniforms, equipment, and so much more for our students. By supporting the Booster Club, you're backing all of the Bullpups. Visit bullpupbooster.com to join today. Together we're stronger. Go Bullpups!
Get back to doing what you love with advanced physical therapy in McPherson. Whether you're recovering from injury, surgery, or just want to move with less pain, their expert team is here to help. Call or stop by Advanced Physical Therapy in McPherson today.
Do you need custom shirts, hoodies, polos, or other apparel printed? Tired of overpaying with online companies? Hi, this is Tyler with 37 Print Co. in Hutch. Come see us and get your shirts printed locally. Check out our work on our Facebook page at 37 Print Co. We print shirts.
Bullpup football on KMCP.
Welcome back for the final time at McPherson Stadium. The Bullpups win 21-15 to end the regular season 5-3. We'll get through potential playoff seeding in a little bit, but first off, let's take you around the McPherson Dental Care scoreboard. Wamego defeats Abilene. That's a big one for 4A. The 4A West 27-9 was the final score. Rose Hill defeated Independence 35-12. Locally, Smoky Valley fell to Hillsborough 37-14 to close off their regular season. The McPherson area game of the week on Mix 96.7 was a big opportunity for either Inman or Mound Ridge to win the district. That wasn't, just a rivalry, but it was a chance to win the district. Inman got the win 22-7, but Mound Ridge is without one of their star players. Also elsewhere around the area, looking around, Andale finished the regular season unbeaten, 57-0 over Heston. Canton Galva defeats Gossel 34-18. El Saline defeated Central Plains 36-6. It's not quite local, but that's a pretty big 8-man score to keep an eye on, especially for postseason implications. Marion defeats Valley Heights 14-7. Halstead defeats Lions 56-13, and Sterling defeats Trinity Catholic 34-12. Those are just some of the scores from the McPherson Dental Care scoreboard, providing healthy smiles with a gentle touch. But don't forget at 10:30 to stay tuned to, that's another big one. But don't forget to stay tuned to the high school football scoreboard show tonight at 10:30. Totally forgot, game 1 of the Fall Classic. Nathan.
Top 7 of the Blue Jays. Canada have blown it open. It's 11-4. Alejandro Kirk in the 6th went grand slam. Actually, the Dodgers just scored to pull it within that 11-4 margin with a shocking to everyone in the world, I would assume, Shohei Ohtani 2-run homer.
No way. Shohei hit a homer? Yeah, I know. But, yeah, that's a big one, too. But, Blue Jays in the World Series for the first time since the walk-off home run hit by Joe Carter in '93. Trivia question, which you may know, Nathan. Where did Joe Carter go to college?
Wichita State. He was the 3rd best baseball player to ever come through Wichita State.
Former Wichita State shocker.
On their record books.
Wow.
3rd best player. You know who holds the home run record for Wichita State?
Who's that?
Tabor baseball head coach Mark Staniford.
Wow. All right. Well, that's a little bit of trivia for you today. But now, before we call it quits here tonight, just taking you a little bit through possible playoff seeding. Capon does get the number 1 seed. They were the final unbeaten team in 4A, but they lost last week to St. James Academy. So it's kind of a crapshoot between them and Mulvane for the top spot, but they just narrowly beat out Mulvane for the top seed. They'll face El Dorado for the first round of playoffs. Mulvane will get the 2, Wellington likely the 3. This will be updated because the Wamego Abilene score and the Rose Hill Independence score have not yet been updated on the website. Same for Ulysses, as Ulysses played Guyman, Colorado today. So that will be updated later on as well. But before the updates, McPherson is down as a 6 seed because of the 5-3 record, and because the point differential for McPherson is lower than Buhler. But the point difference is not the first tiebreaker. The first is the head-to-head, and McPherson gets over Buhler for that. And if Rose Hill comes in, because they're 5-3, so Rose Hill comes in, McPherson takes precedence there too. McPherson possibly the number 6. But some bad news. Who's the 11?
I'm going to go with Augusta.
Absolutely. Augusta comes in as the 11th right now. But, that could be updated, and it could actually be, it will be, Independence. Bullpups versus Bulldogs. If that's the case, this is not confirmed. This will probably happen tonight. But once that's all updated, it could be actually possibly Ulysses. We'll see on that just because of point differential. But because Augusta and Independence are 3 and 5, Augusta has the higher point difference between the two. I don't think they played each other this year. They did not. but Augusta would get the top spot either way for that. So Augusta will move up to the 10, which means they could possibly face Buhler next week. But won't know for certain until later tonight, possibly by tomorrow morning.
And no matter what, Buhler, McPherson, they're going to show up and play whoever shows up.
100%. So, again, McPherson wins tonight, 21-15 over Buhler, 5-3 in the regular season. Final thoughts, Nathan.
This week of practice is going to be huge. Moving forward, I think you're getting to the point in the year where you're looking at playoffs, and obviously this is a big win, especially on senior night, getting to recognize the seniors and the 4 years and many, many more years. I've been following along on their Twitter, and as they're posting them, most guys are 7, 8, 9, 10 years of playing football.
Yeah.
For some of those kids, it's coming to an end here very shortly, relatively speaking. But again, I think this comes down to who has better week of practice, who has a better process, and each week going into it, it doesn't matter who you play, but you gotta have better process than the other team, and they need to focus on that and continue the momentum that this win brings to the Bullpups and this community of McPherson.
For sure. First round of playoffs is next week. McPherson will host whoever their opponent is. Will still be determined to be seen. From what I saw, just from my math, it could be likely Independence, could be Ulysses, one or the other. We'll see. Kind of depends on when all of that is put into the Acacia website and kind of put together. The brackets, all brackets will probably be, it will be this weekend, but I did notice there's some games being played tomorrow, so some certain classes may not be released until Sunday, but we'll double check on that for sure. But again, McPherson, they will host the first round after defeating Buhler. They're 5-3 on the regular season to close off. Week 9 is on Halloween, 1 week from today. That's going to do it for us here from McPherson Stadium. McPherson gets the victory over Buhler 21-15, and it is playoff time next week. Special thanks to Kelly Bruce in the studio and live stream coordinator Jeremy Snap for helping us out. For Nathan Roble, this is Lane Gillespie. So long from McPherson Stadium. You're listening to 98.9, 1540 KMCP.
At Midway Motors, we are here for you for every mile of life. Whether you're shopping for a new or used vehicle or selling one, Midway Motors will buy your vehicle even if you're not in the market to buy one of ours. Just stop by one of our 5 locations